I'm coming back. I gotta at least do a Foreman, you feel me? Shout out to all my sucker duckers motherfuckers out there.
Ness Heyman.
How you big and bad and you fucking crying like a baby?
Just my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just keeping it 100% real. I put in the miles. I get in every fucking gym. They want me there. Yo, dudes is straight corny, man.
Horrible fighter.
TheBoxingVoice.com. You doing some whack shit. You covered in whack juice out here.
Horrible fighter.
Your favorite fighter's a liar. You mad at me for keeping it fucking real.
Ness Heyman.
I'm being keeping it real. Like them niggas they keep it real. That's real.
TheBoxingVoice.com. Carrying popcorn in bags for grown-ass men. The fuck off my comment section, man.
He's on fire!
What's the highest level you made it to? The comment section?
Bruh.
Fuck out of here. Somebody insert the fucking excuse that I need to be telling y'all because y'all lying, man.
Excuses, excuses, excuses. I knew it was coming.
Our referee stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, and he is still undefeated.
Ness Heyman. This message was brought to you by SDS Promotions.
Good morning, TBV. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another one. We are live from Las Vegas and in studio, and we definitely are living the dream. I just want to thank everybody that was rocking out with us, man, and who stuck by. Obviously, I've been gone for some time, but I'm back. And I'm excited, man. I'm excited to be in this new studio. I'm working with the voice of Travis. He's our new God, the producer. I always wanted one of those, man. I used to listen to Joe Rogan and hear him talking to his guy and like, damn, one day I'll have my own producer that I can
I'm here for you,
call
brother.
upon.
I'm here for you.
Travis in the building. Man, I'm excited to be back. Listen, we're going to get to some things and get that out the way. I know a lot of you guys got a lot of questions. Look, man, you all know I'm rough around the edges. So I made some mistakes, and I've been gone for a little bit, man. You know, life throws curveballs at you, and you got to take them, you know, as they come. It definitely taught me a lesson, and, you know, I plan on never doing it again. But it's difficult. It's difficult dealing with with different personalities and just dealing with people, man, in general. So as you all know, I think it was in August, we went to Atlanta. We had to cover some, we had to do some commentating. On my way back, I got into some shit with somebody and I put my hands on him. Obviously, he didn't like that. He pressed charges. And, you know, long story short, I had to go in the Bing for a little bit. The kid had to do a few days for the great state of Florida, which I couldn't believe. I thought I was moving to Florida and I was going to love it. Not to say that I don't, but that situation was a motherfucker. And it's not completely over, so I can't talk as much as I would love to. Just know I wasn't happy. I didn't want to be away from you guys. It's almost behind us. And it is what it is, man. We're going to grind forward. We're going to keep doing what we got to do. And we're definitely going to grow this show, man. We've been given an opportunity to come to Las Vegas and do our show live from studio. I'm already in communications with fighters and trainers and managers trying to get this thing popping so that we can have guests every morning. It is going to be a little difficult as we're used to 9 a.m. to about, 12 p.m. Eastern, and now being in Vegas, it's 6 a.m. over here. But you see, I'm up early trying to give you that same schedule that we're used to for the last 10 years, man. Looks like we got a few super chats already. Bo and Bama. Shout out to my man, Bo. He was helping me. He's been helping me. I'm trying to get that Corvette. Bo, you already know. I need that. Bo works for CarMax, and he's been listening to the show for so long. One of our most faithful and loyal subscribers, pound for pound supporter without a doubt, Boomerang, all that great shit. And he says, guess who's back with the fat $50? You know I'm going to smoke. I ain't get to smoke with that, Bo. I'm going to have to smoke. Sticky Paws, Q and Travis, the voice of God, they don't allow us to smoke here. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but we're going to get through it, man. We're going to get through it. But shout out to Bo for the support. Look like step your game up. He says, check my boy out. Yes, sir. Gang, gang, you already know. Fire emojis. Yo, listen, I'm happy to be back, man. Listen, I guess the only thing I can say is going through the situation has made me value and love what I do all that much more. The one thing I'll tell you is going to jail, bro, everybody could be whoever the fuck they want to be. Jesus Christ. You got to listen to people's garbage day in and day out and tell you what they do and what they don't do. And I had Gucci's and Balenciagas. It was horrible. It was horrible. Truly, it was. Do not go there, man. It was sad to see so many young kids, too. Jesus. I mean, you guys think I'm bad with the weed. Lord have mercy. These kids need they need guidance out here. A lot of fiends in the streets, man. It's sad. But what's sadder is that, I mean, I've been going almost 2 weeks and Crawford and Spence still can't get it together. I'm going to be playing some audio from Premier Boxing's Champions VP Tim Smith. We've had him on the show before, and he obviously was on a PBC podcast and gave some information that pertains to this Crawford versus Spence fight. And it's not making me any more happy. I'm not believing we're going to get this fight any sooner than we were supposed to. It looks like it's going to be one of those long out, drawn negotiations. According to Tim Smith, he feels as if Crawford wants a lot of money, but then he says he doesn't know how much money, so go figure. But we got another super chat from A-Zap. What up, A-Zap Sam? He says, get Bud on the show, man. Listen, I would love to. And now we got the people to back us, man. You never know. Maybe we could send Bud a little, suburban Uber or something and have him feel special and he come up on here and bless us in the new studio, man. It would be fantastic. I'm sure we can get Bomac, but it's always going to be a matter of them being in Las Vegas. That's what the move will be all about. Living here in Vegas can make it simpler for us to really be the Breakfast Club of boxing, really have physical guests every morning. I was already talking to Bill Haney and Devin Haney. I wanted that to be my first show back with those guys, but it's going to take a little more time, and people are going to have to get used to it. It is 6:10 in the morning right now, and it's freezing out here. Jesus. Listen, I love boxing because it's letting me live all my dreams. You guys been here 10, 12 years listening to me, manifest that I wanted to live in Florida. Obviously, the good Lord blessed me with that. And I've only gotten a year or less out of Florida because I think it was like the end of January that we moved in. I haven't even completed a whole year, and now we got to move to Vegas to continue to dream, to continue to march forward, man. How many times did I pray? How many times did I say live on air that, I wanted to be given this opportunity so that me and my co-host could be in studio so we could have that synergy that you're supposed to have. Hence, no co-hosts. Very typical of my co-host, but I mean, we're going to get it together and we're going to do what we got to do because the kid is back and I ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? I ain't going nowhere. We're going to have a lot of fun with this new situation, and the plan is to just take it to the top. The plan is to grow. Uh-oh. The producer showed the empty chair. Hey, how you doing, buddy? So, Crawford and Spence, man. It's a little unfortunate that Tim Smith would go that route, and I'm gonna have Travis go ahead and play the audio just so you know where we're at with it. Or okay, that's right. See, I got to get used to this new setup. I'm used to doing everything on my own, and now I got a guy that can help out. But I do want to play this audio that Tim Smith would go that route. And I'm gonna have. There we go. I had to pause that video.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me coming in twice there. All right, let's see what Tim Smith had to say.
Speaking of that one belt, there is a, Sec the Boxing fans who want to see Errol take on Terence Crawford. What is hindering this fight from happening, in your opinion?
economics. And you don't really want to insult a guy like Terence Crawford, who's a tremendous talent. And I'm not taking away anything from his talent, but he hasn't been built into a pay-per-view star. And
I'm going to pause it right there. I mean, I think that's something we've been saying for what? I don't know, since that first Victor Postal pay-per-view. They haven't built him properly. They put him in pay-per-view fights that no one cared about, and the numbers showed that. And now it's time for the big dance. And it just looks like, his carriage is turning into a pumpkin. Let's be real, because it's time for you to get in there with the big kahuna, the big fish in Errol Spence, and the economics are not right. The money isn't there, which is sad, because this is a fight that the boxing public at least seems to want. But Tim is going to go on to say something that's probably true. The people that are crying for this fight are probably going to be the ones that steal it, and that's the saddest part. But we got to remember, it is a new year. But we did do the math, and I think I was at like $780 just in pay-per-views for the year of 2021. So when we're talking pay-per-view, I can understand why some of us may steal, some of us may not watch it, stream illegally, whatever it is you choose to do. Obviously, me being as grateful as I am to this sport, I buy every single one, but it's a tax write-off, and, I guess it ain't the same for you as it is for me. That being said, if you want this fight, you will have to pay for it. And they're going to have some indication that the public is going to want to pay for it. They're not just going to do this fight. But I want to get back to the audio, because for whatever reason, I'm going to just go out on a limb and say I don't believe any of it. You can't say that a person wants a lot of money, but then turn around and say you don't know how much that money is, and turn around and say that you're not part of the negotiation. So, I don't even know why are you talking about this situation then. But back to the audio.
And I'm not saying that to throw shade at the guy, but, you got to go on his track record. You got to go and look at what he's done, in the pay-per-view fights that he's been at. Been involved in. And, that it's not my job to tell anybody how to make him a pay-per-view star. We have enough work on our hands dealing with, trying to make our own guys into pay-per-view stars, but he just hasn't been built. And trust me, if there is money in him fighting Errol Spence where he could get what he wants and Errol could get what he wants, that fight would get made. But you don't want to insult the guy. Nobody wants to insult this guy and make him an offer that's insulting. Nobody wants to do that. Like I said, he's a proud.
I don't get that either, man. Why are we thinking that we're going to offend Terence Crawford? Why can't we just start the negotiations, whether they're soft, whether they're hard? Start them. Put a number out there. Let him turn that number down. Let him counter that number. But just to assume that your number is going to turn him off, it's going to hinder this fight from happening. You know what they say, when you assume, you make an ass out of yourself. And I think that's what's happening. No disrespect to Tim Smith, but we shouldn't be assuming he wants a bunch of money if we don't have a fucking number. Give me a number. How much is a bunch of money? We all know Terence makes a lot of money. How much more does he want from his normal top-ranked mandatory minimums is what the public wants to know. You want us to just sit back and relax and wait till the economics are right? Well, then give us a little something. Throw me a bone. Let me know why I'm waiting. Don't put the blame on Terence, yet you don't have an actual number.
Proud champion, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that to him. But from a business standpoint, it's a fight that, might excite the fans and all these people that are out there yelling about pay-per-view and too much they're not buying it anyway.
They're not
going to plop down any money to make it, successful. They're going to steal the fight, but, they're not going to support it on pay-per-view, and the numbers, won't be enough to give him what he needs, or not necessarily what he needs, but what he wants. And I don't know what that number is, but I would think that number, would be very high. I'm not involved in those talks, but that's just looking at the sport historically. I just don't. I don't think he should be insulted. I really don't.
So that number will be very high, man. Tim, I don't know. He let me down. He let me down with this audio. You want to hope that the guys that have been in this business for as long as a person like Tim, they know what to say. You don't have to know how to get these types of fights done, but you should know what to say not to hinder it. Going out in public and letting the world know that you feel the offer you guys have in mind for him is going to offend him is basically telling the world that PBC wants to send Crawford a low ball offer. It doesn't look good for the home team. I'm just saying, we want this fight, and boxing needs this fight. You need fights like this to attract casual fans, to make this, more of a casual fan fight. But negotiations, hampering and dampering things aren't gonna get it done. We got a fat $20 super chat from my man Anthony Big Money Forbes right here. Well, we're not in Florida today, but from Florida. And he says, welcome back, Ness. Doomy held it down. He sure did, man. We've never seen the Doomatron go live, man. He was definitely doing the best that he could. There's a learning curve, we all have to learn to take constructive criticism. There's a learning curve with this, and the more that he does it, he's gonna get better at it, man. It's kind of like riding a bike, but you got to learn how to ride the bike. And once you know all the little intricacies and your little sound bites, and you got the energy, man. You got to have the energy. It's funny that it's 6 a.m. I guess I'm still on East Coast time. I don't feel like it's 6 a.m. in Vegas, and I haven't smoked. Imagine I'd have smoked. We'd have been on fire over here for sure. But Anthony, man, thank you for the super chat, my friend. I appreciate it. Yeah, man, we're rocking, man. We're back. That's all that matters, man. I lost the holidays. That was insane to me, bro. I promised my family this wonderful time in Florida, and I kind of fucked that up for them. They had a shitty Christmas thanks to my temper. But we're holding that back. No more temper for me. You can hit me, I ain't hitting you. No more. It's over. Fuck that. I'm too old for that bullshit. I thought I was too old for disrespect, but I learned I'm gonna have to let people disrespect me if that's what it means. If that means not going back to the big house. But shout out to Canna, man. I know you held it down while I was gone, my friend. Apologies, I was a few days late, but we're back, man. We're back. No fly zone. What up? What up? And it feels so good to see everybody still in the chat. Foxy Brown, what's up, Foxy lady? Yeah, man, I'm glad everybody's rocking out with us. It is 6:21 in Las Vegas. This is really giving me that Breakfast Club of boxing feel. I did want that skyline, looking back behind me, having that Vegas horizon every morning. I felt like that would be amazing, especially give you that morning show feel. But being in this studio, man, not having to really worry about anything is pretty cool, for real. I know you guys can see this smile because they got all these great cameras on me. But yeah, it's a lot to take in. This is also my first time going live from here, and just soaking it in, man. I can't wait to go to work, though. The truth is, I contacted my good friend Mario Serrano. I want to get Caleb Plant in here. Plant is from Vegas. Like I said, I talked to Bill Haney and Devin Haney. I want to get them in here. There's so many Vegas people that Leonard Ellerby, he hit us up on Instagram. He wants to be on the show again. So having him physically here, oh, man, I would die if I had Big Leonard up in here. It's going to be amazing to see what guests we get and to see who wakes up this early too, man. Who's a hustler, right? Some of these people need the exposure. Are they going to be willing to get up this early to come join the Breakfast Club of Boxing and talk some boxing with us, even though it's earlier than normal? because we did have difficulties, being on the East Coast and scheduling West Coast fighters. They're like, oh, man, can you do something at 7? Because 6 a.m. is a little early. Can you do 11? And we would try to accommodate them, and that's what our Thursday night show would be for, is usually to get those West Coast guests, because it'll be 4:30 for them, 7:30 for us, or 8:30, depending on the time slot. So we just got to find a way to make it work. But I think it would work, because in New Jersey, it was just, you're too far. Like, you wanted to be closer to New York City if you're going to have a radio station and you want to get live boxing guests. And then obviously you have to consider the hustle and bustle of New York. But Las Vegas is kind of like the mecca of boxing, man. This is where all the big fights come. Shout out to Keith. One-time Thurman. February 5th is going down right here, and I will be in the building. So it's already a great thing, man. I mean, it's Vegas. It's Vegas, man. There's so many trainers. Oh, man, the possibility of a Floyd Mayweather stopping through. So many things, man. We just got to now hustle, grind, and pray for those big names, man, because that's the only way we're going to get to the top. Looks like I got another super chat that I might have missed from Ness Zorro. Uh-oh. He says, good morning, Ness. Thought I was going to see you at the fight. Shout out to the Boxing Voice. I thought I was going to be at the fights, bro. I mean, as much shit as I talked about Luis Ortiz and that heavyweight card, and I missed it again because of myself. It was my own temper, but I did miss it, man. And I heard it was a decent fight, for Luis Ortiz to get dropped, I don't know, 2-3 times and then come back and stop Martin. I hate that I missed that fight. That must have been exciting. Then my boy Coffee lost again. That would have been depressing to watch. I hope he bounces back. I hope PBC doesn't cut him. I hear Johnny Rice got himself a nice PBC deal because of that. So, yeah, man, I didn't want to miss that fight, but there's more boxing coming to Florida, man. It's funny. I'm moving to Vegas, and more fights are happening in Florida. I was checking the schedule. They got something going on in Orlando. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Franchon Cruz is also fighting in Florida, the unified champion in the female 168-pound division. We got another one. Shout out to you guys, man. I love this community. Mr. Steal Your Chin. Hey, don't do that shit in the street. You're going to be in the bing like Ness. But he says, if more EJ haters was Bud fans, maybe this pay-per-view numbers would be better. Numbers better be way over 500,000 pay-per-view buys. And that's, man, that's a bit of a stretch. I mean, Wilder Fury, 850. Wilder Fury 1, 325. Wilder fucking Luis Ortiz, you're talking 275. I don't know. And then you factor in Errol versus Mikey. Let's give him 345. Errol versus Porter, 275. I just don't know that these numbers are going to be what we want them to be. They need to find a way to make it work within those numbers, within the 200 to 300,000 pay-per-view buys. Do that math, divide that money right, and they just need to understand that this isn't a $10 million each fight or a $20 million each fight if they want to give it to us. If they want to give it to us, I'm a firm believer that it's going to take a lot more time. We've watched Mayweather-Pacquiao take 7 years. Now, this is no Mayweather-Pacquiao. Pacquiao had a country. Pacquiao was doing his own pay-per-views. He was doing anywhere between 800,000 and 1 million. Floyd doing anywhere between 900,000 and over 1 million. So they were two established superstars in the sport. These guys are not as established. Errol obviously has a little more popularity. His connections to the Dallas Cowboys and Jimmy Jones and, all that stuff. He sells tickets, and Crawford does too. Crawford Porter was sold out. It's about pay-per-view numbers. I just don't know how we're going to get people to not steal in this day and age of illegal streaming, in this day and age of you open up your Facebook app and someone is live streaming their television. They need to figure out a way to stop digital content from being, copyrighted. Dazn has a pretty good system. I've tried to screenshot. I've tried to screen record. None of that is allowed. But there's still, excuse me, there's still ways to find illegal streams from Dazn because they have it streaming in so many different countries. Someone has it out there. And this is why I believe in the apps. It's a little harder to steal. They're more worried about subscriptions than they are pay-per-views. The subscription cost is less than a pay-per-view. So it makes fights like this a little simpler to make. As you can see, I'm sick. That's what you get from being in a filthy place like jail. But it's not supposed to be great, right? You're supposed to hate it so that you never come back. But shout out to Foxy Brown with the pear emoji sticker that says, how's it going? It's going way better now. Let me tell you, way better now. I guess the biggest issue is I need the community's help. I'm calling upon the community right now. Start hitting me up, DMing me, whatever the case may be. We got to convince my little lady to want to be in Vegas. She's like, there's no beaches here. It's going to get 110 degrees in May. What the fuck am I going to do in Vegas? And, we got to find out some things to do because it's true. There is no beaches here. I mean, what fuck? When May comes around, and I always looked at Vegas like this, right? Like, you got to be in shape to be in Vegas. I'm going to just be real. You do. You can't go to none of these parties, none of these pool parties, rather, if you're not in shape. It's like everybody's in fucking tip-top shape. They're ripped. And now you're trying to go just take a dip in the pool and you're feeling like a fat slob. You're like, fuck, So I don't know what I'm going to do when it gets hot either. Hopefully I can get me a house with a pool. We all know I just signed my fucking contract for my Florida pool and we won't be there for that. So there's a lot of decisions to make. It's going to be a little hard. It'll take some adjusting, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this studio can do for the show. How big can it get? What guests can we get? All that is just so exciting for me, man. It's I don't know. I'm hoping everything turns out right. Dr. Mofongo, what's up? Glad to see you're okay, Ness. Yeah, okay. I'm okay. I'm okay now, man. I'm gonna be real. I'm okay now. There's some real inhumane living conditions that I had to go through, but I'm gonna keep all those details for a further another episode of Untitled one day once the case is done and closed, and then I'll feel comfortable. Right now, I just feel like I don't know what I can say that can get me into more trouble. And trouble I do not want at this point. I just want to work, man. I was so sad not being able to be in studio next to Doomy, living the dream that we've talked about for years, bro. It definitely made me feel shitty. And it made me realize, man, talk is cheap. I guess it's an East Coast thing. People step on your sneakers in New York, you ready to fuck somebody up. They cut you off in traffic, you ready to kill somebody. And I got to get away from that East Coast mentality because it got me nowhere. Adrian, what's up, my friend? I know you were trying to get with me. We gonna talk. It's going down, man. Big things coming. Chase Athletics, what up? Yeah, you already know, man. The dude didn't know I had some pop. And I had to give him one or two, you know what I mean? But yeah, man. Oh my God, Las Vegas, living the dream. Living the dream. I gotta get with Brandon as well, man. Brandon, I know you're listening. You need to start scheduling some live guests. I spoke to Jeremiah Milton, the heavyweight. He lives out here in Las Vegas. He had that viral knockout video on, I believe it was ESPN, trying to get him in here. But I got to give everybody time. Now they're seeing these messages like, hey, I got a studio in Vegas. Can you come through? And it's just going to take some time to get situated and to start filling this thing up. But there's this beautiful waiting area. There's no cameras for that, right, Trav? We can't show that next room?
We could, if you want.
Get out of here!
I mean, not right now, but we could.
Yeah, that would be great to show that next room. And apologies again for the cough. Obviously, Florida, Vegas, 2 different temperatures. It's 32 degrees this morning, right? Was it 32 or was that another 37? I never knew it gets 37 in Vegas, bro. Never. I thought Vegas was supposed to be hot. They're saying it won't get to 70s till March. Can you imagine? That's like spring. You really got to wait for spring.
We don't have spring or fall in Vegas. It's winter, then summer.
So you're born and raised here?
Born and raised here, went through all those 110 heats. It's easy to manage, just AC inside the house, AC inside your car, AC in wherever you're going. You're good.
For me, I've only done 7-day stints in Vegas on its hottest month, on its coldest month. I've never been here a month. So I always told my lady, though, because people tried to scare us about Florida, the humidity. And I'm like, well, I mean, my car has AC, my house has AC. I don't feel it, which I don't. But this is a different type of heat. Like, we don't see 110 in Florida. And if we do, we could at least go to the beach 20 minutes away. And unfortunately, in the future, we would have been able to jump in the pool. Hopefully everything goes right and that pool gets put in. We got Big Fish Vega also in Florida. What's going on, my friend? He says, Big Fish Mafia in the house. Glad you're back. So am I. Yes, sir, man. Shout out to everybody, man. It's Mr. Adore, you lived there for 7 years. Okay. So you used to live in Vegas. You ran away, which is what it sounds like. And another one, Omar says, great to have you back, Ness. TBV is now complete. It's not. We need one of the co-hosts to be here and definitely mix it up, man, because that's what I've been dreaming about for so many years. I used to get frustrated with the talking over each other because we're remote. So it causes some sort of feedback on the mic, or one mic may be more dominant than the other. So to have your actual co-host in the same room has always been the dream. And we've been able to do that once or twice, actually, here in Vegas when Hennessy hired us and Chivas hired us. But to do it on a daily basis, it's amazing. I mean, it was just amazing being dropped off here. The cab driver was like, oh, wow, look at you. You got your own studio. And I'm like, well, it's actually Travis's, but I get what you're saying. So it gives you and the show a more legitimate feel, doing it from your home studio is great. And we grinded for years to get to this part, but now this is the next step in the evolution. And I can't wait. Shout out to Big Fish Vega, member for 12 months. Man, you've been dealing with me for 12 months on YouTube, huh? He says, hey, Ness Heyman, I'm so glad you're back, brother. 100 emoji. Well, I appreciate you. Oh, that's Davidian, Big Fish Davidian. Everybody's Big Fish now with this Earl Spence thing, huh? I thought that was Big Fish Vega. Everybody's Big Fish now. Well, I mean, the Big Fish is going to have to cut some of that sushi off to Crawford if he wants to get this fight done because according to Tim Smith, Crawford wants a lot of money. Errol wants a lot of money. But go figure. He doesn't know how much either of those dollar amounts are. And he wasn't part of the negotiation. So make it make sense, Tim. Make it fucking make sense. Looks like Steve in Chicago, a member for 9 months, Steve. Shout out to you for hanging out with us that long on YouTube memberships. We're going to definitely step that up. Look, what I've been asking for years, just praying and putting it out there verbally, we have manpower. I mean, Patreon is going to blow up. There's going to be behind the scenes. I mean, you don't even know what's going on right now. So this can be another behind the scenes uploaded video to Patreon and the YouTube members. So everybody that's been a member and a Patreon, hold tight. The content and the quality of that content is going to explode right now with this team. I mean, we just have about a half a dozen very capable people, very hungry guys that want to work and that, you know, want to make this into something. And together we're going to do that, man. We got so many things cooking. I can't wait for you to see me in San Diego. It's insane. I was talking, I don't know, should I put the guy who's behind all this out there just yet, but I was talking to the money man, we'll call him. And, you know, I'm like, man, you have this beautiful house. We got to get some big name fighters in there so that they can do a camp. So essentially he has this mansion in San Diego. It's huge. And in the mansion, it's a complete fight camp. Just imagine Canelo's Big Bear in San Diego. It's an estate. It's not a mansion. It's an estate. It's huge. And Jose Benavidez, Senior, Junior, David Benavidez are going to be holding their next camp there, and it's exclusive to TBV. We get to be there. We get to be alongside them. And, you know, in a way, I put that together. I wanted my guy to contact Louis de Cubas. I wanted Yurdani Urgas. That's who I wanted. I figured he's going to fight Errol. That's the next big fight because people love Errol. We couldn't get Urgas, but we'll do our thing with David. You know, he's the new hot guy. All you guys think he's going to beat Canelo, not me. I'm pretty sure Canelo's going to sit his ass down like Ronald Graville did, but he's the new darling. So we get to spend some time with David, 3 months actually, which I think is a little excessive, but you know, content is king, and I can't wait to be alongside him. I can't wait to see how he trains. I've never been in his training camp. I've been to so many people's training camp, and David isn't one of those people. But the beauty is he's given us even the ability to record his sparring and be there when he spars. So I'm just excited, man. There's so much to come that it's crazy. Jesus, talking about so much to come. Look at all these super chats. All right, so we stopped off at Steve, and he said, salute, glad to have you back. Posted a potential sponsor from Vegas on a Discord. Uh-oh. Shout out to the community. Let me see what's going on Discord. We were just talking about that with Trav, the producer. And, yeah, man, we'll see what you got. Can you just bump it to the top or refresh it, Steve? I got Mark Blake all the way in the Netherlands. Shout out. He says, Happy New Year and welcome back. Thank you, man. Thank you. It definitely sucked to be away. Fudge. I just got off my super chat page. Uh-oh. All right. We got next up was Steven Toddleson. He says, studio looks great, Ness. Congratulations to you and the team. Good to have you back. Thumbs up and fire emoji. Shout out to you. And shout out to you for being a member for 14 months. Champion, you are definitely a champ, man. And look, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for loyal people like yourself, man. I mean, being around for 14 months is showing everyone that needs to see that we have an audience, that we can keep an audience, and we have an engaging audience, you know. Bo and Bam are back with another one. He says, let's get Cobra and Shakur in studio at the same time. Exclamation emoji, fire emoji. You're going to need security. You know what? We don't have security.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. You got security. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't, you know, because it can get ugly. But both, I mean, so Shakur is like from that DMV area, originally from Newark, New Jersey, and Colbert is from Brooklyn. So that's going to be interesting to see, can we get two guys from the East Coast on a early morning Vegas show. It will probably have to be when Shakur's out here training. But that's what I'm saying. All this is exciting to me because now I get to stop at the Top Rank Gym and just start building these connections, you know. I've never done that because I had no interest in Vegas or no investment in Vegas, should I say. But now I can hit all these gyms and just let them know what's going on, talk to more and more publicists. Everyone wants exposure. And eventually, we're going to have this studio packed with guests. We got Rizzy with another one. He's a member for 13 months. Jesus, it's like today is all my members coming out. Ness back in full effect. Time to get Bill in studio. Let me tell you, Bill was the first person I spoke to, and he was ready for yesterday, but he was trying to get a hold of Devin. See, was Devin available for yesterday? Obviously, he was not because we weren't able to get them. But you know, Bill and Devin are gonna be in here regularly. Karma in Ontario, California. What up? Yo, he's back. Congrats on the studio, champ. Hashtag West Coast is the best coast. Shout out to Karma Surge. We got Chino. Yo, new studio is fire. Fire emoji, 100 emoji, exclamation point emoji, TBV going worldwide. Double exclamation point. Yes, man, I definitely want to go worldwide. But ultimately, we just want to grow and keep making the show bigger and better for you guys. And, up the quality of the content, I'm hoping that's what's going to be able to take us to the next level. I'm hoping we're going to get more subscribers because we're in studio and we're having physical live guests. We're still going to be doing our remote guests. Shout out to Trav, the God producer. He knows how to connect Zoom guests now, which is something that we were lacking. And with Zoom being the newest wave, that's also going to help the quality of the show. I used to be like, oh, no, you got to download the Skype app. They're like, Skype? What's that? Ew, you still use Skype? So we'll see, man. We got KDDR7989, a member for 14 months. He says, salute to you, Ness. Glad to see you safe and back. Can't wait to see the evolution and the growth of TBV. Plus, PBC side don't want to make that Bud versus EJ fight. Nothing changed. More excuses even before officially negotiating. And that's what had me upset. Why would you put this audio out there for Terence and his team to hear that you think they want this astronomical offer that, hey, by the way, I don't even know how much it is. I'm just assuming he wants a lot of money. And I think that can cause some problems, man. That can cause some problems. Oh, look who's this. Look who it is. Spencer Fearon, all the way in the UK. Shout out to my brother, Spencer Fearon. And Black, no, what is it? No Label, No Label. And MTK, man. Spencer, obviously an ambassador for the sport, has his own podcast. And I appreciate you, my friend. I appreciate you. Thank you for checking in with the $9 super chat, sending it in pounds. And he says, feeling this new look. Shout out to you with the okay emoji. We got Mad Bet in Kansas City. I'm so glad you guys are super chatting. Not for the money, but for the engagement. Obviously, with no co-hosts, it's kind of a little bit difficult to keep a conversation going. But having your guys' messages is very helpful. And Mad Bet in Kansas City says, welcome back, Ness. Freedom is priceless. Health is wealth. Laugh out loud. Happy New Year, bro. You're not lying. Look, I mean, I'm sure as upset as my lady was, she's probably very happy. She's never seen me this. They learned me. They learned me, bro. There's no reason that anyone with any real sense should be where I was at. And I'm going to try to keep that sense to never go back. But yeah, man, it is priceless. You can't put a price on freedom. And I got to continue to live my life that way. I mean, look, almost 3 weeks and numbers are down, people kicking your back in. I seen Mike on Sports out there. God damn you haters, huh? I can't believe the haters. It's crazy. It's like you're like my child and I'm watching you grow and then you want to go ahead and talk shit to your daddy. You can't talk to your daddy. I taught you, all you motherfuckers, how to do what you do. Don't ever forget that. Come on, man. You dudes are crazy, bro. Kicking my back and trying to get guests. That, you're dripping with whack juice. But we all knew that. We moving on, man. We got Mr. King, 14 months member. Great that you're back. Keep on the grind. You already know my foot is on their neck. They can't match my hustle, and that's why I'm up early in the morning, rocking out the way TBV does. East Coast, West Coast, it don't fucking matter. We here every day. We got Big Boy. I always called him Big Boy Paquete, right? And then you corrected me. So, I don't know. We're just going with Big Boy. Member for 13 months. And he put the big fish emoji, the Errol Spence KO's Terence Crawford emoji, and puts him in a coffin. Welcome back to the CEO. Shout out to you. Yeah, I don't know. Is Errol gonna put Crawford in a box, man? After watching Crawford do what he did to Porter, I'm just my mind's changed. You know, I wanted to see Crawford in with an elite level welterweight as long as we needed to see him. You know, since that very first Jeff Horn fight, seeing him in there with Porter is all I needed. I know some people are like, oh, well, he was on his way out and Porter had one foot out the game and he was mentally retired. Physically, that was still him. Physically, that was still his style that has always otherwise given people so many difficulties. And Crawford just dealt with that, man, like no one's ever done. So I feel like I witnessed his special. You know, I can't ignore that any longer. The man knows what he's doing in that ring. He knows what he's doing in that ring. I can't talk about resume anymore. That's so old for me. You know, it's just like when a guy beats one of my guys. If he beat him, I'm moving on. I'm giving that person credit. You have to. You have to, man, because he did something that you didn't think he can do, and he did it in style. But we got Midwest Boxing. It says, Lady Shan, freestyle raps in the booth. Yeah, I guess. She might get excited if she was in studio and want to spit some bars. We got All Around Strong, LLC, out there in the DMV. Shout out to All Around Strong. They definitely sponsored one of our events in 2016 or 17. Excuse me again. Fucking cold. Thank God it's a podcast. So he says, happy strong year, Ness. Yeah, man, listen. Me and my wife was talking about that, and I'm like, damn, that was almost a perfect year. 2021 was almost a perfect year for me until that bullshit. So this year is gonna have to be that perfect year. You know, we made it. We made it to the December 22nd. I needed 8 more days for a perfect year, and they robbed me of that. It's okay. They robbed me of that, but we know that we were 8 days away from a perfect year, so we're going to just, start the grind early and try and make 2022 that perfect year. That's all you can do. You know, dust yourself off and try it again, man. You fall off that bike, get back on it, and just keep pedaling. We gonna get to the end. We gonna make it. We gonna make. See, this is when I need that licensing right now. Like, boom, just play that little fucking Jada. You know. But we got Dr. Mofongo all the way in Long Island. What's up, my friend? Glad to see you back, my Dominican brethren. He said, God works in mysterious ways, Ness. Don't know how things unfolded, but one thing is for sure. This looks and feels like the best is yet to come. Fire emoji. Yeah, I mean, look, the truth is God did it for the reason, the one only reason. He knew I thought I could just smack people. It's not the first time. It's not going to be the first, it isn't the first conviction for doing it. So it's like, he knew I didn't learn my lesson. I needed to go through that to realize, hey, you're a little too old to be putting your hands on people and going through this shit. So you're right. He does work in mysterious ways. The issue is it was a tough lesson. Tough lesson. but we going to get through it. And we going to try not to do it again. Intrigue all the way in Atlanta says, time to get the big fish killer on. He looking rejuvenated. Boxing been missing him. One time is back. Big fish gutting season. And we all know that Intrigue is the biggest Keith one-time Thurman fan. And we'll see how Thurman does in this Barrios fight. You know, I'm nervous with the Barrios fight. There's so much pressure. You know, you now have to do better than the lightweight. And if you don't, you look like a lightweight, you know? And I don't mean that literally. I mean that like Ebonics, bro. You look like a fucking lightweight. You look light in the ass if you can't knock out Barrios. And then Barrios gets a pass because all he got to do is show up. All he got to do is show up. So I never liked this fight for Thurman. And I hope that he's 100%. I know my last time in the gym with him, which 2 months ago maybe, he looked phenomenal. He was sparring his only fighter who's very big, I think 168 or 160. And you know when you're not training for a fight, you don't weigh the weight that you fight at. So watching Keith spar with someone that big, I feel comfortable that he's rejuvenated is a good word, that he's hungry to get back. But that was one session. So we will have to see, man. We will have to see. I just hope that he can make a mark. I hope that, you know, this fight being on pay-per-view, it's another pay-per-view. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff against Keith here. You know, can he do the numbers of Gervonta Davis? Is he going to get 200 plus with Barrios? Or are people now tired of watching Barrios and not going to buy this fight just simply because they're assuming the welterweight should do what the lightweight did? But we'll see if the guys over at PBC know more than us, and somehow this ends up being a big pay-per-view, or at least a successful one. And what would be a success? Honestly, I don't know. But I will say it's got to be over 200,000 because that's what Tank did. You know, you at least want to do 200 or over 200. And if I'm Keith, I want to do more than 200 because I did 600 with Pacquiao. I don't want my next pay-per-view, non-Pacquiao pay-per-view, to be the one where my numbers are lower. And now everyone's saying, well, you only did 600 because of Pacquiao. So again, this is just a really effed up situation for Keith. Hopefully he can make the best of it. But shout out to Keith and shout out to Hannah. You know, I don't have my little cactus gloves in the back right now, but they did send me some of those brand new Adidas cactus leather. Funny, we're in Vegas too. Ain't that where cactus are from and shit? Or where you see them? So yeah, they're fully biodegradable. And I appreciate Keith for sending them to me. I wonder if he's going to be fighting with them. It'll be interesting to see. Does he change up his gloves, and do they help with his hands? You know, he's been having issues with his hands for the last few years. But we got Big Fish Vega with another one. He says, you're only as good as your last fight. So once Spence defeats Ugas, then everybody will be back on the boat. But we don't want y'all. Hashtag Big Fish Mafia. These Errol Spence fans, wow. You guys love this guy. Look at you. Interesting to see what he does with Ugas. You know, his pay-per-views have been decent. He's been able to stay on pay-per-view. You know, I've said this before. He's kind of, he's an anomaly, right? Like, no one in boxing has ever done 4 straight pay-per-views. He's got Mikey. Then he went to, who was it? Who was the next one? Mikey, Danny. Then he did Porter. And this will be the 4th one now? Wow. Yeah, so 4 straight. Not even Floyd did that. You know, Floyd took a break. He fought Sean Bay Mitchell on regular HBO. Even Oscar took breaks. He fought Stevie Forbes on HBO. You know, 4 straight pay-per-views. This guy the economics do seem to point towards Errol Spence, but it's not like he's doing Floyd Mayweather numbers. But he is remaining on pay-per-view fight after fight, which is something no one in the sport can say they're doing or have done. So it is impressive. And I can see why his fans continue to call him the big fish, because he's looking like a big shark out there in these boxing waters. We got Steve in Chicago that says, Barrio not much of an underdog. Bookie's giving him a chance. Get out of here. I don't even know where to check. I guarantee you my bookie is doesn't have anything, any great lines on Keith at the moment. Let me see what they got. MyBookie.ag. Remember to use the code BETTBV if you're going to be making a bet. Let's see. Sportsbook, boxing. Hopefully we get a new betting site. I was talking to some people yesterday, and there might be something out here in Vegas that we can partner up with, because my bookie just, I would love Bovada as a gambler. I would love Bovada to be our partner. They're up to date. And damn, now that we're in Las Vegas, isn't it Bovada LV, right? So shit, maybe we need to get with those guys. Where are you, Keith? Nope, they don't even have it. This is what I'm saying. It's pathetic. So there's no line there. Let me go to my, what is it, odds checker? Or is it Pro Box? But we got to get some sort of line. Trav, let me use the producer. Can you Google what is Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios betting line while I continue with these super chats? Looks like I got Walt. Been listening since 2015 and a Patreon since 2016. Glad you're back. TBV will definitely have a great year. Keep up the good work. Well,
according to FanDuel, it's Keith Thurman minus 180, Mario Barrios plus 140.
That is close. That's sad. And that's a testament to what the bookies, how the bookies believe, where they believe Thurman is at. Like, that's insane. Barrios has no big win to talk about. And he arguably lost that eliminator or that mandatory bout with Butayev, or I don't know what, some dude that kicked his ass. We all seen that shit. So, this doesn't look good for Keith. This doesn't look good for the line to be this close, Intrigue. I know you out there hiding. This doesn't look good that the line is this close for him, bro. He really he should want to separate himself. This is not good. Man. 140 for Barrios, plus 140. That is crazy. I don't even know anybody that Barrios has dropped to be that close of a dog with Keith. He's been in no fight the level of Keith. He's been in no fight the level of Josecito, who Keith beat, and people think like gave Keith some sort of hard fight when it was one tough round. Like, I don't know. This is insane. Maybe they know something we don't know. Hopefully Keith isn't injured. Again, he's prone to hand injuries, man. He puts so much into those punches. I physically watched him hurt his hands hitting the bag in the past. Like, he puts so much into those punches. We don't know where those hands are at. And at this stage in his career, I mean, what is he, 33, 34 probably? If you could check Keith Thurman's age. I mean, maybe he's looking for that last one, go off into the sunset. I don't know.
33.
33, So, don't know, man. Don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what Keith does and how good he looks, The good thing for Thurman is obviously Barrios is trained by Virgil Hunter. He's not this aggressive trainer. He wants his fighters to be cautious and conscious of what's going on in the ring before thinking about offense. And maybe that's probably why Barrios has never gotten a knockdown that we can speak of. But there's no reason he should be this close of a favorite unless there's something that we don't know. I can't remember this guy hurting anyone. I don't know. Chickarelli, welcome back. After a recent heart attack, I realized life is short and living your dream is important. We sold our house in 2020 after 24 years, and my wife didn't want to move. But new house is even better. Live the dream, Ness. You hear that, babe? You hear that? She needs to be living the dream. You know what I mean? I'm sure she never thought she'd be able to quit. But this is one of those women that don't want to quit their job. You know, they're Miss Independent and all that good Neo shit. So it's like, you know, I'm like, just quit. She's like, Miss Independent, that's why you love me. I'm like, all right, babe, but, you know, give me 6 months. Let's see what 6 months looks like. Let's rock out. Let's put the show out there in front of the world. Give them a new look. Bring live guests to them. And let's try to blow up, you know? I never thought I'd be able to say I have a Florida home. I have a New Jersey home. Which, by the way, I got an offer. Yo, I can't believe I fucking got an offer on my house. I'm just like this. Like, please don't back out so I can fucking offload it and just be happy, you know? Make some money. That I really need that to happen, let me tell you. If I sell that house, there's no way I don't get the Corvette. I got to. I have to. You know I have to, right? Yo, can you imagine me whipping up to the studio in my vet, Devin Haney whipping up in his vet? Come on! Come on! That's the fucking dream, bro. Yo, Bill gonna be like, hey, man, nice taste in cars. Hey, likewise. You know what I'm saying? Maybe peel his back, because his is red too. And you know Ness loves red. So peel his little beige back, like, hey, we got the same color, you know what I mean? Living the dream, bro. Living the dream, man. Batman Boxing, what's up to you, champ? I seen you reached out, man. Shout out to everybody that reached out. Obviously, I didn't get to see those messages till I got home, but, you know, it definitely felt great to know that the community was looking for me and worried about my well-being. So I appreciate you guys, man, for sure. For sure. LV Slugger, what's up? Do we got anybody on Skype? I forgot. Listen, we got Skype in full effect. If we got some callers out there, you guys want to talk, and you already know the number to add is Nestor Gibbs. Just add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. We're going to figure out getting Blog Talk into the studio so that we can actually accept landlines or create a new system altogether. But we could also use Zoom. So anybody got the Zoom app, I guess you can call in. Do we have like a username they need?
Yeah, it'd just be like a simple link they tap. They just get right in.
Oh, so I got to put it in the chat or something?
Yeah, something like that. We can work that out for you. Ooh. Right now, we got a bunch of people on, they can hear us right now. We can't hear them, but whenever you want on Skype.
All right. Who's first on the list from the top?
All right. On Skype, we got Big Fish Killer.
That must be... Wait, that must be the best dad ever, because he's supposed to be fighting Big Fish Vega in Border Wars. So I wonder if you're Big Fish Killer now because you want to kill Big Fish Vega. But talk to us.
What's good, Ness? Now this intrigue, man.
Oh, you changed your name too. What's going on?
Chilling, man. Congrats on the show, man. Yeah, you know, it's too many big fish. These Errol Spence fans, they getting a little out of hand, so, you know.
Yeah, there is a lot of big fish in the chat, bro. Everybody's a big fish, man.
Yeah, I had to troll him. Nah, I'm trolling. I ain't doing too much Bud trolling. I'm doing the Errol Spence trolling now. So,
but you being that Thurman super fan, bro, I know you got to feel like me. The line is close, bro. That doesn't feel right to me.
I like it, man. Well, this is what I like. I just know what it was. You know, he's been out the ring for so long, so they unsure of how he gonna look. You know, that's the main thing. And then I hope the line switch. I hope they have Keith as a damn underdog. I might have make some money on this fight. I hope a bunch of money come in on Barrios as the fight get closer. And shit, I can make some money on Thurman. Thurman not can do that in 6 rounds, man.
Bro, when's the last year Thurman had a knockout? You better stop.
Hey, man, it's been a long time, but hey, man.
It has.
Rejuvenated, man. When I'm just watching him in his interviews, workouts, man, I ain't never seen him looking this healthy. I ain't never seen Thurman in this shape before a fight. Never, man. Never, ever. And I think that Pacquiao fight put a fire up in him. You know, sometimes if you take a loss, it can destroy you, and sometimes a loss can make you better. And I think Thurman the type of dude.
2015 champ. That's 7 years.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man, I'm betting on the knockout, man.
Wow.
Holler at me when that fight over if I'm wrong. But I'm telling you, man, I don't think Barrios is going to last past 6, man.
Well, all right, Intrigue. Thank you for calling in and appreciate the support as always. We got Big Supermax that says, try to get Fernando Vargas on. His son is making his debut on the Thurman undercard. Studio is fire. Can't wait to visit you guys in Vegas. Hard work pays. Shout out to you. Yeah, bro. It's so funny. The money man. He's got a huge connection with the Vargases. Fernando, the father, and the sons, they're going to be doing their own separate business with him. So that's not going to be a problem. I think those will be regulars on the show. And TBV and some of the other people, that we're working with are going to be doing a lot of content for Fernando, from what I'm told, and for his sons, developing, their own channels and things like that. So you should stick around, man. It's going to be not only good for us, but good for the Vargases as well. It's so much to talk about. I mean, yesterday they were talking about the possibility of live commentating fights in Tijuana. I mean, I'm excited for that. Imagine calling a fight next to Paulie and Claudia. What's her last name? It's like Trujillo. Is it Trujillo or something? It is Trujillo. Well, there you go. Claudia Trujillo. And, we've had her on our show before from right here in Vegas, but never had an opportunity to call a fight with her. So that's something I'm looking forward to tremendously, to see how I do. They're professionals. They've been doing this all their life. So, to be able to call a fight next to Paulie, that's dope. But what else we got? Looking like, who's next on the line?
We got Coach J Mac 504.
Uh-oh. J Mac. Dan, J Mac, we don't got your intro just yet, my friend, but how are you? Take some time for them to unmute.
Yo.
What up, brother?
Not much. I'm good. I'm just listening. I'm getting my hair cut right now.
Okay, champ. Well, thank you for tuning in, man. I missed you. I missed the arguments. I missed the back and forth, man. Damn. I never thought I'd miss the arguments with you guys so much, bro. I'm telling you, you realize how important the little things are, man. So thank you for rocking out. Thank you for being there. And this is what I'm saying, guys, they take the time to go to the barbershop and listen to the show. You're on your bikes or you're doing your walks. I appreciate all that. You could be listening to so many other people, man. I'm just grateful. So thank you. I got a super chat here from Casual Baz Guy that says he's a member for 14 months. Shout out to you, champ. Prospect level, he says, one time finesse. Thank you. All right, let's see who else is next.
Keem Crespo.
Oh, Keem the Dream in Florida, my Florida boys, man. Damn, Keem, I left Keem hanging. I was supposed to be at the fight with Keem and Jordan. It didn't happen. What up, Keem? He's usually working. This is my HVAC guy. My HVAC. He's always putting in.
Yo. Can you hear me?
I hear you perfectly, champ. You never sounded this clear.
What up? Good morning. Nah, likewise, man. You never sounded this good, man. I like the studio. I like the quality. I like the visuals. I like the audio. Looks good, man. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, not much to really.
How's that Florida weather, man? I fucking miss it already. Woke up and it was 37 out here.
How you move to Florida and you up and leave like that, man?
Bruh, it's not what I wanted. Hopefully with boxing, more and more boxing going out there, hopefully, the money man would decide to do another operation that way.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, man, I didn't get to tell you, so congratulations on everything, man. Hope it all works out for y'all. I don't really got much, man. I'm at work, so I got to go. But yeah, man, congrats, man.
All right, brother. Well, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Shout out to Keem out there in Florida. It's crazy, man. Yo, Florida's funny. Kodak Black has a lot of influence on Floridians, let me tell you. Lord, I never met so many people with what are they called? Plats? Holy shit. Like, Dade County, Lee County, they in the Kodak, man. They on that island, boy. Just trying to make it. Yo, Casual Bass got back with another one. He says, the show goes on. Hashtag TBV back. You already know, man. You know I hate not being here. I was going crazy not being able to talk. Not being able to do what I love. Lady Sean Dum season. We love Doomy. Chulo is back. Yo, the Axiom back with another one. Welcome back, Ness. We missed you, man. I missed y'all like a motherfucker. Let me tell you. Shout out to you with the 20 dub. Yeah, I ain't even get the smoke, man. I see all these dollars coming in. I'm just thinking of weed. You know, we got to get a big weed spot. If you're watching this and you have a dispensary right here in Las Vegas or Colorado, hit me up. I'm being told, yes, the Skype number is Nestor Gibbs. If you see someone call in and you got to merge them, Trav.
I got to merge them? Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
You got to merge them to the call. You could call back in Big Super Mix. So, yeah, man, we need to link up with a Vegas dispensary. And hopefully they sponsor the show in a healthy way so that Sticky Paws doesn't matter. So they're not mad. If they can get a cut of that sponsorship, then I can smoke. That's all that matters.
You know what we should do? We should put a camera outside and you just do the podcast while you're just chilling outside. Just kidding. Just
pretty cold out there.
Yeah, you're right. It's pretty cold out there.
Yo, and let me tell you, I had everything rolled up and I'm like, I'll just go out right before. And then it was like, damn, 17 minutes to show. I'm like, I don't need a whole 17 minutes. I'll go a little bit later. Next thing you know, it was 2 minutes to start time, and I had to start without it. But it's all right. Yeah, man. Just happy to be back. Happy to get to work, man. It's about now moving forward, networking, and just going to all the local gyms here in Vegas. And seeing who we can get. All right, looks like Supermax is calling now. Can you add him?
I'm actually not getting it.
Interesting.
It's not even showing up on my end over here.
Let me see if that'll add him. I don't know.
Damn.
But you are logged into my Skype.
That's correct. I'm not getting any calls over here. Are you logged in over there?
Yeah, no. I'm using the app, but I'll just add him.
I think it's because you have it on your phone. It's prioritizing going to your phone.
Let me see. How do I add a person? Let me just send him this. Hopefully this works for you, Max. Get you on in here.
Can I just put the invite link in the chat?
Yeah. I guess now that I got a you, I can do that. I never wanted to do that because then you can't control. But yeah, I guess we can do that.
All right, let's see what happens. It just fills up with 400 people.
Jordan says, Ness, you did it for 2 weeks without it. You'd be good for a couple of hours. Get your ass out of here, Jordan Baker. Shout out to Jordan Baker and Brandon, bro. They both seeked me out, found out where I was, and was sending me messages. Jesus, you know it's been a minute since I've been to jail too. That shit had a kiosk. Like you could literally text people, get emails. It was crazy. But that kiosk causes problems. Those phones in them kiosks, there was a fight every fucking day. Let me tell you. And people really can't fight. It's sad. They need to be watching boxing more. I'm like, yo, I wish I had cards. Like, yo, you should take this card so you can learn about this sport. Because, Jesus, you throwing hands like a girl. No disrespect to the ladies out there. I know Shields and a few others can really bang. But, geez. Mr. Napier, how are you, brother? Welcome back to yourself. Welcome back, man. Yeah, James, no blog talk at the moment. It's like I said, I'm going to have to bring a few pieces of my own studio. See, I always said that. And now today, here it is. patting myself on the back. No one can replicate what I got, bro. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Maybe Trav, being the God producer, given time and the ability to research, can get it done. But it's not easy. It's not easy to get all those different methods of calling into your show. And for everyone to be able to hear everyone's audio, it's a little bit of a trick. And we're gonna have to, I guess, adjust, figure it out, see how we can get that done so that we can continue to accept as many calls as we normally did. The beauty is that we now have the ability to use Zoom, which was something that we couldn't do. No matter how good I thought I was, I couldn't figure out Zoom as a third source for phone lines. But soon enough, those phone lines will be back. For the moment, you can just add Nestor Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation. Mex, let me know in a text if you're in there so we can go to you on Skype. I know that you've been trying to call in. And if you're watching this on YouTube, ain't shit changed. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. We got to put this episode in the eyes of other people. They got to know that we're in studio now. They got to see this new, clean look and this fantastic audio quality. Jesus, I can't wait for my iTunes and iHeart people to hear how great we sound from within this studio and this wonderful equipment. James, MP3s are going back to Patreon, and that's what I'm saying. It's a lot. It's a lot. What we do, it's a lot, and I'm sure Doomy realized that. That was a part that he was lacking on the MP3s, and it's just a learning curve. You gotta be taught all that stuff, or teach yourself, one of the two. But I'm back, and I will start to upload the audio to Patreon so that you can have adless audio once again. I won't lie, my little lady did a fantastic job uploading it to iTunes, but it just slipped my mind to tell her to also do Patreon. So I did leave you guys with probably you missed out around 12 episodes. I would say Doomy did 12 maybe, hopefully something like that. But yeah, anybody on the line?
Yeah, I mean, you said you were waiting for Mex, or is it?
Yeah.
Is it Super Mex?
Yeah, Super
All right,
Mex.
Joseph, unmute yourself, brother.
Yo, what up, Ness?
What up? Dan, you sound, it's crazy. I do hear you clearly. It's so weird that everyone sounds better even on Skype. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it might be the fact that I'm in this brand new truck too, and in that old ass one that's always whining.
Oh,
so that might help too.
Look at you. You got a promotion?
Yeah. No, we just finally upgraded some equipment, man. The trucks we had aged out, so.
Well, I don't got to tell you, but I'm going to tell you in case there's other truck drivers out there. Shout out to you. I appreciate you using this audio to get you through your work day. What's good, man? It's been a minute.
It's been, man, I feel like I ain't talked to you since I was in Florida, man. It feels like we kind of, and even then it feels like we didn't get to chop it up like we normally do, man. Everybody was so busy with border wars, but it's good to hear you guys, man. Shout out to Trav, the new producer, man. Welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, it's just good to hear you. Shout out to Doomy, man. I tried to help him out. You know how I do, Ness. Fact checks here and there, man. But he held it down. Glad to hear you guys back, man. When I seen you guys in studio yesterday, I was really happy just because.
You cut out. Dead spot on him.
Out to Vegas, I'm trying to take a trip to Vegas later this year. Hopefully, I can be.
Yeah, I mean,
it's for me being a long time listener. Finally, where you deserve to be, man, and that's not because something you guys work for that.
Well, I appreciate you, Max, man.
Yes, sir.
But
yeah, man. Real quick though, while we're on the subject, man, this Errol Spence and and Crawford fight, man, it seems like the closer we think we get, we end up further and further away, man. It's just, as a Spence fan, at this point, whether he beats Crawford or loses, it's just like, we got to see the fight, man. It's been far too long. It's starting to look like we're never going to get AJ and Wilder. Now this fight might not happen. So this is just something I think we got to get away from this as boxing, man. So hopefully we can figure something out, because after 2022, I think this is the expiration on the sell-by date for that fight.
Really? You don't think you don't think that these negotiations could go into 2023? If they do, you're saying it's a wrap.
I think they could, man, but to me, the fight's starting to lose luster, because I think fans are just starting to get frustrated, because it's like, why is this not happening? No matter who you believe is at fault at this point, man, we know one thing: when fighters want to fight, the fight happens. So this is the sell-by year. Hopefully we can get it done, man, and have a big event, man. We'll see what happens with Errol and Ugas. I got a feeling if Thurman looks good, we might. This is what my dream scenario is. Thurman looks good against Barrios. Errol beats Ugas. Thurman and Crawford line it up maybe end of May, and then in the fall time, the winner of that fight meets Errol, and we finally settle this thing once and for all. But the likelihood of that happening, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, that's something I hope we could get. But yeah, Ness, man, it's good to hear you back, man. Hopefully you can get some good guests on.
That's the goal now.
Oh man, and then like I said, man, from someone who's been on the pre-pro, who's been in the back end, who's seen some of the effort it takes, I'm just happy to see you guys where you're at now, man, and it's going to be a big 2022, man.
Let's go, champ. You already know, man. Appreciate you. Looks like we got a few super chats to get to. Who is up? Dual Ingrams, I believe that's in Compton. He says, Ness being built into a pay-per-view star. Good to see. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, I'm so appreciative, man, that finally, for God to have answered those prayers, and I got someone that believes in our vision and in us. And, putting a little bread behind us, man, to take it to the next level. Look at that. Look who's back. Stick Talk Boxing. Yo, what's good with you, champ? For sure, Fire D. Dallas, what's good? Welcome back, Ness. Can't wait for the next Border Wars show. The fighters are restless. I know you guys are restless. There might be a curveball, though. I mean, don't rule out Albuquerque and Las Vegas. I just have to be honest. I was supposed to have a call with Albuquerque yesterday, but being in Vegas, it slipped my mind. He reached out. They're ready to rock and roll. They want us out there. And we want to continue to take Border Wars to new venues and just keep adding new excitement. And that's kind of how you do it, From what I'm being told, especially in Albuquerque, it's a beautiful looking venue, and it's gonna have food, drinks, everything that we need. So we have to take the necessary time to go and have that sit down with Albuquerque and see if that's the right option. And now, obviously, us being in Vegas can also become another option. So don't rule it out, but definitely Border Wars is still in full effect. Still in full effect, without a doubt. But again, if you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we are trying to grow. And the only way to do that is by having you tell a friend that, we talk boxing every single day from 6 a.m. to around 9 a.m. now. That sounds so strange. I'm so used to 9 a.m. to 12 or 11 or 1, right? We go long around these parts. I wonder how that'll be being here in Vegas, right? Would the show still be as long? I guess it's all dependent on guests. Kind of the interviews do take a little more time than normal. And I definitely am planning for guests, man. That's what I want to capitalize on. I don't want to be in studio and not have people physically be here. Like, the dream has always been to have them physically here and hopefully get some of those Oprah moments, man. Get me somebody crying on the couch and shit. Like, oh, where is boy? Fucking real emotion, you know what I mean? Sell that. That's what I'm looking for. Someone to express their frustrations, like, yeah, Tim Smith is lying. I don't want a bunch of money. We need Crawford on the hot seat over here. Fight Night says, TBV the best. Shout out to you, man. You the best. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. 370 people watching live, man. We should have 370 thumbs up. Come on and hit that thumbs up button. It's going to help with the visibility of the show. Boxing King says, Ness, I thought COVID got you. Stay safe out there. I didn't, but I did get a cold, and I don't know if it's as worse. I guess not. I don't feel any of those pains people are talking about that they get with COVID and stuff like that. So I just got a common cold that I'm trying to get over, but we couldn't find any NyQuil liquid, so I'm fucking taking pills. Whack. But yeah, Bill Haney, he will definitely be in the building. Let me hit Bill up. He always listening to the show live. You let me down, Bill. You were supposed to be here yesterday. I'm like, yo, are you up? Where are you? Are you up? He said he only 20 minutes from here. So we'll see. We'll see. Imagine me trying to stall for another hour for Bill to come. Oh my goodness, that sounds horrible on air. Ugh. Fucking sickness. I hate it. So let's talk a little bit about Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez. Am I the Oracle or am I the fucking Oracle? They should have gave me my part on Neo the Matrix, man. Everything I say comes true. I told you guys, Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez, and they're kind of in negotiations. They're talking back and forth. You see them a lot on Instagram and stuff like that. So, Bill answered. Can you come through? We see them going back and forth on social media. I think that's the perfect fight for Jake Paul. It's the real boxer people want to see him in there with. And let's be real. For us hardcores, we think Chavez is shit. I'm not going to lie about that. But he's still a real fighter. He still beat Sebastian Zvik. He still lasted however many rounds with Fonfora. Fonfora was a big puncher. He dropped him. How many rounds did he go with what's his name? Daniel Jacobs? Like, for Jake to win this fight, he's gonna have to show us he's a real boxer. Like, Chavez is bad for boxer standpoints, like for elite level fighter standpoints. Like, he's not that, but he can beat the brakes off of an average man. Like, he beat the shit out of John Duddy. He's got a lot of people that he beat up. Brian Vera, and we don't know that Jake is better than any of those names. We don't know that Jake can hang with any of those names. So that's not a you ain't answer me though, Bill. Bill said, I hope you feel better. I'm watching and the studio looks great. I guess that means chill, champ. Until you ain't sniffling, I can't come and risk you getting me sick and me getting my son sick. I get it. But hopefully we'll get Bill. At least he answered, right? You got to love Bill Haney, man. Thank you so much, Bill, for being a friend and for always listening to the show. Look, it's 7 a.m. See, when I was in the East Coast and Bill would text me at this time, I would be appreciative. But now being here on the West, knowing it's this early and you're like listening to the show and you're fucking Bill Haney, I love you, Bill. Thank you. I still want you to come through, though. And let's get Shamar, man. Send me Shamar Canal. Send me Amari Jones. Let's start with them. Big, little, small. The motto hasn't changed. Big, little, small. We interview them all, Bill. So if you and Devin are busy, let's start with some of DHP Promotions fighters. I got no quarrels with that. I would love to introduce my audience to Amari Jones. Good-looking guy, tall, nice, slick fighter. Man, he could be right here on chair, and he needs the exposure, Bill. Get on the horn. Let's get it done. I got pound for pound Jack, who says, yo, if Jake beats Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., boxing becomes a joke. No, if Jake beats him, you guys need to embrace Jake and realize that he's not a joke. But let's talk about this since we got the great Bill Haney on listening. Let me text this to Trav. Yo, I got a guy in the community named, oh shit, I didn't store your number yet. Fuck. I got a guy in the community named Trav FDY. And every time I say Trav now, I'm like thinking of him. But you're Travis.
Travis.
I'm such a, I'm so urban. I give everybody nicknames like Travis. Now you're Trav.
Trav.
Let's send him this and change subjects really quick to the Ring Magazine Top 10 Lightweights. Bill sent me this when I was in jail. He didn't know I was in jail. But obviously my wife answered and let me know what he said. And it's interesting. It's interesting. And I told her the minute I got out, I said, you see, I chose right. Because so many people, right, had whatever impression or belief of Devin Haney. Did you receive the text?
I did. I'm loading it up.
Perfect. And I just believed a different thing. We TBV, we've been recording Devin Haney since 11, 12 years old. And those are the best. The Chris Colberts, the Shakurs. When you see them as preteens and they're able to come back full circle and be superstars or stars, because I know some people are going to hang up on the word super all of a sudden, and look at him now. Look at him now. Once we pull up this top 10 list, Devin is the only guy on this list to fight two people on this list. Isn't that strange? Well, I guess Tio fought 3 but lost to 1. So he and Devin are the only people on this list to have fought 2 people on the list. Got to say that, Bill. Bill said it different. Let me see what he said. He said,
there you go.
He said Devin is the only one on the list that beat 2 fighters on the list and was ducked by 6 other fighters on the same list. And right now you can see we're screen sharing the Ring Magazine Top 10 Lightweights. Obviously the champion being George Kambosos Jr. from Australia with his big win over Teofimo Lopez. Still on his victory lap. Shout out to George. He sat down with us on our special guest podcast not too long ago. And next on it is Teofimo Lopez, which isn't bad. I guess they're showing him the respect that he deserves. He's only suffered the 1 loss to the champion, so he's only dropped 1 position. Similar to Wilder, when Wilder lost his WBC, he went to the number 1 position in the WBC rankings. Right under that, they got Vasyl Lomachenko, who lost also to Teofimo, and he's only 1 position under Teofimo. And then the dark horse, the man that people continue to say won't be the guy, has crept into number 3. Devin Haney is number 3, ahead of Gervonta Tank Davis, ahead of Ryan Garcia, who's considered, the big draw somehow because of his Instagram numbers, ahead of the popular, right? That was the catchphrase. Very popular, the very popular Isaac Cruz. And yes, he's become popular after the Gervonta Davis fight. Before, not too much. But now he's a hot commodity. I see Golden Boy back and forth, Oscar lying on him, talking about how He doesn't want any specific offers. I don't believe any of that bullshit. Sean Gibbons came out already on social media and said Oscar's fibbing. And we know Oscar he does that a lot. But under Isaac is Jojo Diaz, who just moved up to 135, but lost to Devin Haney. And then another Devin Haney opponent, Jorge Linares. And Richard Comey is number 9, who is a Teofimo victim, and Javier Fortuna. So, strangely enough, people would say Devin didn't fight anybody, and promoters would say Devin didn't fight anybody. And now he's one of 2 people to have fought 2 people on the top 10 list, which is impressive. If you're in the top 10, if you haven't fought anyone in that class, doesn't look so good. But if you're in the top 10 and you've beat a few top 10 fighters, you're showing your skill. And Tio did that. Devin did that. Kambosos obviously has one big win, and, we got to see what he does next, which I knew would be what he's actually doing, which is playing hardball, trying to get the most money he can. You got to capitalize off that situation. You beating Teofimo Lopez as an underdog, doing what the world didn't expect you to do. You want to get paid. And we had Lou DiBello on this show. He's out here trying to get George paid. This isn't going to be George just running to a fight. This is going to be George setting up the biggest possible fight. So Jack Napier says, I really want to see Navarrete versus Valdez in 2022. I don't. That's some top-ranked bullshit. Why in the fuck should we give Valdez a pass to fight Navarrete moving up? He should be fighting Shakur Stevenson. But, I don't know. Imagine I'd be saying, I can't wait for Errol to fight Barrios because he's moving up. None of this makes sense. And I get it. Barrios isn't a champion. Navarrete is a champion. Cool. I'm not sitting here saying I can't wait for, who the fuck is Josh Teller to fight anybody in the welterweight division. None of that matters to me. If you ain't in that division, you got to do something in that division to get me excited, or you got to be at the division below performing on such a level that indicates you about to get up there and really do some damage. If not, what am I excited about? Why would I be excited about a fight that wasn't even on the radar? It should be Shakur and Oscar Valdez. Oscar Valdez should not be given a fucking opportunity to continue to duck. I mean, how much shit does Shakur have to say about him before he takes it serious, right? And obviously we talked about that earlier. That is my problem. I let words affect me, and Oscar is not. He doesn't care how much Shakur talks about him. He's going to fight who his promoter puts in front of him instead of putting his fucking foot down and asking for the fight that the world knows he's ducking. Because every chance Shakur gets, he tells the world, this guy don't want to fight me. And now it's 2 divisions. He's chased you from 126 to 130, and you're talking about fighting a dude that's moving up from 122. None of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. But okay, that's what you guys want. I do like Navarrete. I will say that his style, I think it was his last fight we just watched, he's so awkward. Those punches come from so many different angles that people really can't prepare for it. His consistent pressure, the activity, that's something you have to train for, and something that you can't get ready for either because of the locations in which those punches come from. He's just awkward. He's not traditional. So it's going to be a good fight, but it's not the fight that we want. It's not the fight that we want. And Mr. Free Super Chatter here, Shakur didn't get no pass. Shakur had to fight for a vacant title because Oscar vacated it. You see how that works? I want to fight the champion. I'm the mandatory. Champion says all of a sudden he's getting fat. Champion says all of a sudden he can't make the weight. Cool. Benefit of the doubt. You can't make 126 anymore. Go to 130. Shakur wins the vacant title, tries to unify with Warrington. Warrington decides, shit, there's too much pressure from Shakur. I'm leaving my promoter, Frank Warren. I'm going to sign with Eddie. Go fight on an app. But somehow Shakur gets blamed for that. So Shakur can't get the unification. He moves up to 130. And now Oscar's still ducking him. Like, it makes no sense. His last post-fight, he said, I'm going to fight the guy everybody wants me to fight. Like, how do you mention someone's name? See, that's the difference with me. You know, like, I can't say something and then not do it. You know, I can't have someone talking about me and then not go see them. Obviously, after this situation, we're moving forward and learning how to do that. We're learning how to accept verbal assault. But as a fighter who gets paid millions of dollars, you should not. You know, the things that Shakur said should bother Oscar. And Oscar should be telling his promoter so that he can get this fight. Because that's one of the biggest fights to make in the 130-pound division. If it's not Shakur versus Oscar Valdez, it's either of those two names versus Tank. Give me those names versus Tank. Like, none of this makes sense. And then, if you're not going to do Oscar versus Valdez, excuse me, that's the same person. If you're not going to do Oscar Valdez versus Shakur, then at least give me Shakur versus fucking Chris Colbert, which obviously Chris Colbert will be an underdog, so it's not the same fight as Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. But we got a cash app from Anthony Von Lewis. He says, $5 to get the pre-roll on me. Welcome back, boss man. Yo, tell Sticky Paws. They the ones that want to smoke. We'd have had this bitch smoky with all the super chats already. You see what I'm saying? Thank you so much. Once I get out this chair, I'm already answering. You see, I never move this much, or do I? But once I get out the chair, we're going to light up. In the name of the community, shout out to everybody. I appreciate you. They said, hit up Iron Mike to sponsor the show. You know, the Magic Man needs to get that done, you know, because Mike does have his own strain. You know, we could easily promote your strain right here, Mike. Talk about it every day, how tasty it is, you know. And then if we had a sponsorship like Mike, Sticky Paws can't get mad. They get they cut. We just put in some sort of exhaust and rock and roll. Unlike this cough, it has me sounding terrible, terrible, terrible. Yeah, man, I'm with you. PBC sucks balls, man. All these pay-per-views. I can't believe that Thurman is a pay-per-view. Thank God I'm going to be in Vegas now. Don't got to pay for that shit. That's insane. Thurman versus Barrios, a pay-per-view. This is why boxing is going to shit, you know? Then you got... I just noticed this is a Tank victim pay-per-view. It's the guy Tank wanted to fight versus the guy Tank beat. On the undercard is the guy Tank beat. So you got Leo Santa Cruz on the undercard taking on whoever the hell Keenan Cabral is. And then you got another Gervonta Tank Davis victim in the Aztecan warrior, Mario Barrios. And then you got the guy that Tank and LRB felt would have gotten knocked out by him in Keith Thurman. So this is solely based on Tank, because from what I'm looking at it, maybe they're looking at his numbers and they think that the combination of those three men will sell decent. I mean, Barrios is Mexican. Tank is, Leo is Mexican. So hopefully. But February 5th, strange day. I don't remember big fights on February 5th. It will be taking place in the Michelob Ultra Arena at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Yeah. It is a shaking my head moment that it's pay-per-view. This is why I desperately want this billionaire to reach out to Al. I don't understand. How are you giving Golden Boy dates on DAZN and you can't offer PBC dates on DAZN? You know, Matchroom USA is a thing of the past. I mean, when's the last time we seen Matchroom USA? They need some U.S. content. And Al is healthy with American fighters. And it would help. Everything wouldn't be pay-per-view. I would rather pay a subscription than an $80 or $100 pay-per-view for Spence and Crawford, you know? And because of that, they would probably pay out the wazoo for that fight because they know that people are going to line up to purchase it, to watch it, especially at that price. I think we're all less likely to steal if something is $10, you know? At least I would hope you guys are trying not to steal a $10 fucking fight. Even though it could be $20 a month on the app if you don't get the service. Obviously, you got to be like me. I know everybody's not in the same position, but it's a sacrifice you got to make. If you pay the $100 for the year, and remember, you can use my link in the description if you haven't already gotten Dazn. But you know, if you're gonna pay the $100 a year, you'll end up paying like $883 a month. And you know, for talking economics, that's what makes sense. Spend less, save more. Bottom line. But we are discussing this week on the PBC podcast. Mario Barrios was there. Tim Smith was also there. And obviously Tim Smith had those interesting things to say about the Crawford and Spence fight. And it just didn't sit well with me. I figured that was the best topic to discuss this morning. You know, why would you say that a man wants a lot of money, but you don't know that amount? And you turn around and say you weren't part of the negotiations. Well, then what the hell are you doing talking? You're ruining the negotiations. That's what you're doing. By putting this audio out there, you know, we're running the risk of offending Crawford, which is exactly what Tim Smith said he didn't want to do. You know, they're like, oh, we don't want to offend them with a low ball offer, you know? Well, you're going to offend them by telling the public that he wants a lot of money, even though you don't know how much that amount is. You're better off not saying anything. Anything. It's a very delicate situation. I'm just shocked that Crawford isn't already on PBC paper. Like, sheesh. He's been a free agent for some weeks now. The fact that Eddie Hearn wiped his hands and said he won't sign him, the fact that PBC hasn't already signed them, that's strange to me. That's strange to me. They're saying, Ness, read the super chats. Let me go ahead and open up another one here to see what I missed. I'm sorry. Where are we? All right. Who did we miss? Here we go. Super chats. All right. So I remember Stick Talk. We got, for Surefire D, we did that. Jaime Nieto says, what up, Ness? Nice to have you back. Love the new studio. Do you live in Vegas now? Uh-oh. Hope so. I live here and maybe we can get an appreciation night. Well, I don't live here yet, but that is the plan as long as the little lady says yeah. And we got Rider of the Storm that says, Buenos dias, Ness. Glad you're back. Here's some money on your books. Laugh out loud. Shout out to you, man. Hilarious. Yes. That money on the books. That's that jail talk, man. Danny Ramirez says, Frank Martin is going to be top 10 by the end of 2020. I guess you meant Frank Sanchez? Because I don't know who the fuck Frank Martin is. But I hear Canelo talking about Frank Sanchez could win a world title. And I'm like, Canelo, you need to stop the bullshit. If Sanchez wins a world title, I can win a fucking heavyweight world title. I'm not trying to hear that shit. How the hell would Sanchez? Okay, so Frank Martin is 15-0, 11 KOs. He's a southpaw, 5'8". And what division is this? Lightweight, is it? Yep, 135. So where are you from? Indianapolis. All right, Detroit, Michigan. Okay, they make great fighters in Detroit. 73% knockout ratio. Who'd you fight? Romero Duno. Okay, so you knocked out Ryan's victim. Uh-oh, you fought Ryan? I know that guy too. Kowalski or whatever the fuck. Let me see. Oh, damn, this ain't my set. I was about to say, let me see what Jeffrey says on the pronunciation. Damn. Does this computer have the computer sounds?
I mean, it has Siri, but I don't know if
Yeah,
Siri
and it'll come out on the show?
It should.
Oh, shit. I love using Siri. I just call him Jeffrey.
Let's see.
Ryan Kielzweski.
You heard that? I heard that.
I heard that.
Yeah, Kielzweski. I used to like Ryan. He's just ain't got the chin, but he beat Ryan. You know, it's always good when you can go through someone's resume and know who they beat. So shout out to Jaime Nieto, who brought up Frank Martin. I've never seen him fight, but he's fought two names back-to-back that are respected in the community. Who else he's got on his resume? That seems to be about it. Unless Darnell Pettis, do I know you? That sounds so familiar. Cody Wilson. Well, I mean, to have two names as a prospect isn't bad. We'll see how good this Frank Lamar Martin, a.k.a. the Ghost. Okay, but he's 26. Time is ticking. Shit, Danny was 27 years old, two-time champion, unified at 140, and vacant titleist at 147, man. Meanwhile, people don't even think Danny's an elite anymore. So, goes to show how difficult it is to become a world champion in this sport. Foxy Brown says he just fought. Yeah, obviously I was not around for that fight. But I see that he last fought Romero Duno, unless they haven't updated him. And that's a good win. That's not a bad win. Let me see what the date was for that. That was January 1st, yeah. So he fought on the Luis Ortiz card right there in Florida. I missed it. Yeah, C-Dub, you heard my Siri, how it sounds. It's more a Jeffrey than a Siri. So, you know. That's why I choose Jeffrey. Uh-oh, they're saying Frank Martin beat Virgil Ortiz in the amateurs, huh? Well. We'll see. We got to see how these guys pan out, man. The bottom line is, you know, what you did in the amateurs is all great, and it's going to get you some clout. It's going to get you some attention, but it's what you do in the pros. It's how you do when the headgear comes off, when the bright lights are shining down on you, and when you got those big-time commentators calling your card, because that's what everybody gets a little nervous with. And you know, you see some of these guys looking over at the commentators or saying things to the commentators because they want to perform so well in front of them, you know. Some of these guys, like, I'm sure people looked up to Paulie, you know, and he's there calling your fight, you know. I'm sure people look up to Roy Jones Jr., and he was there calling your fight. So it's like, I don't know, you might put a little extra oomph in it. But Troy Smorgalarm says, Duno was a bum when Ryan fought him. Now he's a good win. Well, the thing is, he's a common opponent. So for Ryan, Duno was never the opponent we wanted for him. It's just an opponent we had to watch him fight. So this guy, Frank Martin, he's not on the level of Ryan Garcia, but he still did what Ryan Garcia did in 4. You got to give him some sort of credit for that. No? Come on. What's wrong with you guys? Canna says, fights are on tonight. Got my bet slips ready. Uh-oh. Who's fighting tonight? Let me pull up this schedule. I did look at it this morning. I didn't see anything exciting. Let's see here. Boxing. Schedule. Key dates today. We got January 7th in Orlando. We got Showtime. Is this a show box? Uh-oh. Shenard Bunch is on there. Who else is here? Luis Nunez, Sterling Castillo. Wow, this must be a showbox. Then in Denmark, we ain't watching that. Turning Stone Casino on ESPN. Joe Smith, that's right. Callum Smith tested, Callum Johnson tested positive for that that COVID-19. So he's out of the fucking title fight. Sucks for him. Sucks for us because he's a puncher. And so is Joe Smith. They're both a little robotic or mechanical, whatever word you want to use. So it would have been a decent scrap. Now, Richard Rivera. Is this Popeye? Let me find out Lou got you a shot. Richard Rivera, boxer. Are you Popeye? Let's see. Because if you're Popeye, my man's Coach Myers is going to be excited. Oh, shit. This is why I love what I do, because I know what the fuck I'm doing. That is Popeye. That's crazy. He gets an opportunity at a title shot. Shout out to Connecticut. Stand the fuck up, CT, Coach Myers. Y'all made it, bro. We've been hearing about this guy forever. Sucks he's about to get thrusted on this level. He's never been past 8 rounds. He's about to go dance with the devil in a pale moonlight because Joe Smith is a puncher. I mean, damn. Yo, Coach Myers, I can't even see if you're on the line. Is there a Coach Myers on Skype?
Let me check. I got Coach J-Mac. I got...
No Myers? Damn.
No Myers.
This is his guy. Look, this guy, he made it. That's crazy. And this is how boxing is. I just hope this person, Richard Rivera, has been training. He hasn't fought since August of 2021. That's a good, 4 months? And he got a first round knockout. So none of that is preparing you for Joe Smith. Joe Smith is durable. Joe Smith knocked B-Hop out the ring. Joe Smith is durable, man. This is going to be interesting to see, can he hang? That's not a bad fight, though. You know, and I say that from an invested standpoint, not from me trying to lead you to believe that Richard Rivera, a.k.a. Popeye, is this great boxer. We've been hearing about him. We've never seen him. We've been hearing about him. We've never seen him. He's not been on this elite level. This is going to be interesting. Joe Smith, on the other hand, has been going 12 rounds. His last 3 fights, his last 2 have gone. They were scheduled 12-rounders. With Max and Vasilov, obviously, he went 12. Elderly Alvarez, he stopped him in 9. And Alvarez is the guy that stopped Kovalev. You know, he went 10 with Jesse Hart. 12 with Bivol. Obviously lost unanimous decision to Bivol, but went 12 with Bivol and 10 with Sullivan Barrera. Just durable. He's just durable, man. Knocked out B-Hop. Knocked out Fonfora, who dropped Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's durable. He's a durable fighter. He is, man, you're only 32. Lord, Joe. I didn't know you were that young. I know 33, I made it sound like it was old for Keith, but Keith has been way more active than a Joe Smith. Joe Smith, you know, being with Star Boxing, he gets limited opportunities. This is interesting. Not a bad replacement fight, but it might feel that way for many because you don't know Richard Rivera, a.k.a. Popeye. But that's why you come to the Boxing Voice, to get taught, man. It's not a bad fight. Hopefully, Richard can live up to his name and his really his name, right? You can't call yourself Popeye and can't fight. Shit. I grew up on Popeye the Sailor Man and fucking eating spinach and watching his biceps swell up. We got Abraham Supernova also on the undercard. Shout out to my Dominican brethren de lo mío. You know what I'm saying? And you made it to the co-main event. I'm happy for you, man. Let's see what happens. He's going to be taking on Jose Enrique Vivas. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. The rest of the card, pretty dry. Got Troy Isley, the Olympian. Ja Tucker, the new up-and-coming guy that everybody saw. Uh-oh. What the fuck is Bruce Carrington doing here? Uh-oh. Did he sign a Top Rank? Uh-oh. Let me check Bruce's. I've been gone for a minute. Did he sign a Top Rank? That's crazy. He's on a Top Rank card now. We seen Keyshawn, is it Davis, the other Olympian, do the same. And by the same, I mean fighting on Top Rank cards and Dazn cards. So, yep, he signed by Top Rank, and that happened December 9th. Okay. All right. Damn. Now, this guy, he's the real deal. We'll see, can that pan out as a professional? You know, the only thing I'm let down by is that he's now being trained by Kei Kimura, who's the new hot guy, right? He trains Gerald Anderson. He trains Shakur Stevenson. He trains Jared Hurd. He trains Efe Ajagba. He trains Michaela Mayer. I mean, you know, his resume is extensive. But Carrington was brought up through the amateurs with Arliano Sosa, man. And Arliano, all his amateurs turned pro, bro. All of his pros are successful. The only one, I guess, is Big Baby. He's a bit stagnated now. And I mean the real Big Baby, Gerald Miller. And that was due to his discrepancies with, you know, negative drug tests. Other than that, Lennox Allen, you know, he lost to David Morrell. No harm, no foul. Like, I don't know why Bruce didn't turn pro with his trainer that he's known all his life. And I almost feel like some type of way about it. You know, it's none of my business. I make none of that money. You know, he's got to make the decision that's best for him and his career. But I know how much time Sosa put in, man. You know, this kid's 24 years old now. So it's like, bro, I've been with you from the fucking beginning. How are you going to turn pro, make money, and cut me off now? It's like crazy. I could just imagine how much money, if any, I'm only imagining, but I can imagine that the trainer, you know, had to give up some money sometimes to get to some of these tournaments. Maybe had to drive them. So many things, man. So many things. It's just unfortunate that Sosa isn't there, that they didn't give it a go, see that it couldn't work from a pro standpoint, and then switch. But again, K is the new Freddie Roach. You know, everybody's going to him. Everybody thinks he can change them or fix them or make them greater. But looks like the pre-production sent me the new year and the first show for DAZN Boxing. February 5th, it's going to be Vargas Smith. Decent scrap. I think I'm going with Smith again. You know, did Smith beat Karabanov or did he lose? Let me check out Liam Smith. I don't know. Did he beat Karabanov? I know Karabanov's trainer was hitting. I mean, Peoples was hitting me up yesterday. They want to get on the show. Let me see. Yeah, he lost to Magdomag Karabanov. I watched that fight. That was a decent scrap, man. I don't know. Did he lost that? I remember that fight. But he just did beat Fowler, and I picked him to beat Fowler. People thought he wasn't going to beat Fowler, who was the younger, you know, fresher man, but just not on that level. Just not on that level. Liam's been in there with some decent names. He's only lost to Jaime Munguia, Karabanov, Magdomed, and obviously Canelo Alvarez. That's not bad. And then when you you factor in that he beat Liam Williams twice, he beat Sam Eggington, you know, beat Fowler, decent names. John Thompson, my Newark brethren, I remember he beat him up bad, knocked him out. Jason Wellborn, another decent domestic level name. You know, Liam is 33 with 214 rounds boxed, so he's got a little wear and tear. He does have a little wear and tear, but I think he's still decent enough to beat a Jesse Vargas who's moving up. Vargas started his career. He used to be trained by Roger Mayweather at like 135 or 140. You know what I mean? So he's not this big dude. He's filling in, but you know what they say, you're not naturally a welterweight. You're not naturally a super middleweight. So he's fought as low as 140, and now he's going to be fighting at 154, and he's only had 150 pound catch weight, and he's got draws with Broner and Delorme. Neither of those guys are pretty big. You know what I mean? Both of those guys were smaller than welterweights. So I don't know. And Vargas himself, he's what? No age here? Are you kidding me? Come on, Jesse. Why does BoxRec not have your... He's the pride of Las Vegas. Uh-oh, we might have to get him on the show. The pride of Las Vegas. It looks like 2008 was his debut.
32 years old.
32. I don't know that he's a young 32. How many rounds boxed? Let me check that out. For Vargas, he's got 253 rounds boxed. There you go. That's a lot more than Liam. So I would give Liam the fresher. He's the fresher person. And then just looking at Jesse's what? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fights. Out of those 8, he's won 3. Humberto Soto, Aaron Herrera, Saddam Ali being the greatest win. And then he's drew to Broner and Delorme, plus lost to Mikey, Pacquiao, and Bradley. All in his last 8. And the fact that his last 8 still includes Bradley, that should say something. That should show you the level of inactivity that he has. How is your last 8 include a dude that's probably been retired over 5 years already? I mean, fuck. I don't know. That's going to be interesting. Then you got Rungs, whatever, you know, my man from out there that likes eating rats and shit. He's fighting Cuadras in the rematch. That's going to be a little barn burner for all you hardcores. I know everybody liked that first one, and they love talking about that division. We got a new prospect. Do you got air horns over there? Hit him with an air horn if you got one.
Bing, 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 bing. No, I don't.
Okay. Jose, the prediction king, shout out to you, and welcome to the prospect level. We appreciate the support. We got no sound bites just yet. We're going to get ourselves a little stream deck. I'm going to be right from here like one day. Akoli taking on another dead body. I swear. There's too much boxing, man. There's too much boxing. Who the fuck is Akoli fighting? I'm not even doing this research. Seal Slack? What the fridge? Close the front door with that garbage. And then they got Michael Conlon. I hope Conlon's in a real fight because that dude is like one punch away from losing. The fact that he's still undefeated is just a testament to the matchmaking. But, you know, it's strange to see him on a Matchroom card. Did he leave Top Rank or did Top Rank cut him? Strange. We got Jacobs versus Ryder February 12th. That's not a bad one. I mean, I don't mind John Ryder. He deserves a... Eddie's been having him on the back burner for so long, right? Like, he's been this replacement opponent, this what-if opponent. What if Billy doesn't take the fight at the last hour with Canelo? We'll slide you in. What if this guy doesn't fight? We'll slide you in. It's good to see him finally get his own big fight. Jacobs is a big name. I don't know that he can beat Jacobs, but Jacobs is on the decline. Whether he wants to believe it or not, that fight with Rosado was just too tight. You know, Rosado being who he is. Shout out to Rosado. Shout out to Rosado and shout out to Dazn. They're finally paying people. He's stepped up. He's raising his hand. He wants to fight Demetrius Andrade. Let's see. And that would be sad for Andrade. The biggest name on his resume in 2022 is going to be fucking Gabriel Rosado. He needs to get it together over there. But we got Estrada and Chocolatico 3. So I know people, you know, the lower weights, you're going to love that fight. That's not a bad one. Wow. Interesting. This is going to be interesting. Michael Mickinson is taking on Virgil Ortiz. Now that's not bad. I know a lot of you don't know Mike, Mr. Mickinson from the UK, but he's no slouch. And I believe he's the one that beat my guy, man. Let me Google this here. He must have beat, what is his name? Fuck is your name? He's from the UK. I wanted Crawford to fight him. Oh, Lord. Well, we're going to have to go with the Google. Get the Google on it. I need my soundbite from Wilder. He's like, don't everybody believe in Google? Google that shit. Let's see. Michael Mickinson, he beat Chris Congo. That was Mike. I didn't think he can do that. So I became a fan right from there. That was 2 fights ago. That's it. Everything else is domestic level. Oh, he beat Ryan Martin in the Super 6, right? He beat Ryan Martin as well. Who's now, I think he's trained by Bomac and them. So, yeah, he's 27 years old, 5'9", 139 rounds boxed. Only 2 KOs. He's dying. He's going to die. He's dead. This guy's, you're as good as dead. There's no way he's going to be able to keep Virgil's power off him. Lord, that's going to be interesting to see. There may be blood, and a lot. 2 knockouts. Damn. Shout out to Paulie Malignaggi. At least he had, 5, 7? Lord have mercy. And he was a 2-time champ, Mike. You're going to really have to put it down. That's a tough fight. Fudge. Sheesh. I didn't know he only had 2 knockouts. That's tough for him. But he's a dog. Let me tell you, I watched him fight these last 2, the Congo and this Ronowski fight. He's a fucking dog. He throws hands and keeps throwing. No one told him he can't punch. That's for sure. So he's still out here trying. Shout out to Kiko Martinez. Lord have mercy. He became a champion again, and now he gets to fight Warrington. So funny, Josh jumping up to fight him. He wasn't jumping up to fight Shakur. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be interesting too. Can Kiko get another upset win? Because no one expected him to beat Galahad, let alone in the fashion in which he did it. And if he can starch another UK dude, former champion in Warrington, that's going to be impressive. And he might have to get like some sort of comeback fighter of the year or some shit award, bro. You can't knock out a world champion and then knock out a former world champion and no one give you credit. I don't know that he'll do that to Warrington. But Warrington himself doesn't have power, you know. So he ain't got to worry about too much. Warrington fights like he has power, but he doesn't have that power. And obviously that can, you know, put him in danger, you know. I never knew Kiko had that type of power. I watched all his fights. I never seen him sleep nobody the way he slept my good friend Barry Ward, a.k.a. Kid Galahad. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. A lot of good fights, man. Shout out to Matchroom releasing their schedule. I wish it would have been a little more American-friendly, but what are you going to do? It's a global sport. And I'm just looking through Kiko's resume. I'm not really finding another big knockout win for him. That's what I'm saying. Like, that was huge and unexpected. Everyone else he's knocked out, they ain't that, you know. They're not that name. But he did fight Warrington already, so this is a rematch. And it means he's familiar with Warrington. And that first fight, the scores were pretty wide for two judges, but even for another. John Keenan seen it at 114-114, whereas the other two judges had it 112-116, which means they had Warrington winning by like 4 rounds. So it was 8-4 type of fight. But you know what they say about fighters and the fact that they just win a world title, you become, however percent more greater, and you don't want to lose after you're a champion. You have a different air about you. So I don't know that this extends Kiko's career anymore. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. What else? So it looks like Martinez, Warrington, Kiko, and Josh, they're going to be fighting, and that's going to happen Saturday, March 26th, from the First Direct Arena in Leeds. Unbelievable. Crazy. And I guess rightfully so. Josh is a matchroom fighter and not Kiko. Kiko is probably just a guy that, they had an option on, or they gave an opportunity to, and now they have an option on him. That's not their fighter. He's not signed to Matchroom as far as I know. But that still doesn't mean the champion should go to the fucking hometown of the challenger. You taking this guy to Leeds. Damn. And I get it. That first fight happened in the same arena, First Direct Arena in Leeds. So, Kiko must have got paid to go back there knowing that he had one judge give it a draw. He must have felt robbed, right? Like if he had one judge that seen it 114-114, but the other two seen it so wide, he must have felt some type of way. So the fact that he's going back there, he's showing some huge cojones. Huge cojones, man. Respect to Kiko, but he's pretty old, 35 years old, still making that weight. I don't know. We shall see. Luckily for him, Warrington is in the puncher, like I said. You know what I mean? But he does bring that mentality to the ring of a puncher. He lets his hands go. He thinks he's a puncher. He's punching with all his might. But I don't know that it's effective. He's walking away from that draw as well, to Mauricio Lara, where it was a barn burner. He lost the first one and he drew in the second one because it was a accidental headbutt that caused a clash and a gash to open up. So the fight was stopped on the advice of the ringside physician, and he walked away with a draw and a loss. So interesting. All right, so I'm being told by my man CRB, he's like, yo, the channel still won't let me super chat. So I'm checking now, brother. We're gonna check, are you blocked? And what did you say to get yourself blocked? I don't even know who's the moderators anymore, but I am really tired of that shit. These moderators need to get their panties out of bunch. I'm so tired of people hitting me up to tell me they got blocked for something they said. Obviously, we have some rules in our chat. We do want certain things not to be said. If we got any guests, we don't want you, banging on the guests. But other than that, man, you should be entitled to say whatever you want as long as it's not racial or super offensive. But your YouTube channel isn't open up. I don't know if that's because of this Las Vegas internet or what. Because I don't have my cell phone connected to the Wi-Fi at the moment. But let me see. Damn, the super chat stopped coming in. Where the love at? Danny Ramirez was the last person. All right. Let me see. More about this channel. Let me see. How to go to about. Nope, that ain't it. That didn't work either. Son of a gun. All right, here we go. Here we go. Share, unblock user. So you were blocked, my friend. I don't know who blocked you. You know I didn't, because CRB sends in hella super chats. So you offended someone, you know. It's these Wilder fans. It's so sad, man. You know, I used to be a Wilder fan, but it's like his fans turn you off, bro. They're so fucking emotional. You know, you can't say anything about Wilder without somebody getting their panties in a bunch and blocking you or cursing at you. It's insane. He's better than Congo? Who's better than Congo? And it better not be, well, I guess it's Mickinson, right? Since he's the one that got the win over Congo. Riff King says, you really got to cross the line to get blocked. Yeah, not all the time, man. Some people don't know. See, I prefer the timeout. I would rather the moderators use timeout versus using block. Block is so permanent. It's crazy. I don't know. Doomy, I think he's still feeling under the weather. Obviously, everybody is a little bit sick. You hear me bringing my cold all the way from Florida up this way, so yeah, some of the moderators are emotional, man. We got Big Fish Vega that says Big Fish swims in any water. Hashtag Border Wars 14. Let's go. Yes, sir. What else we got coming in from the pre-pro? All right, a little decent fight poster. At least a little decent fight poster for Jacobs and Ryder. The Miracle Man versus the Gorilla. Oh my God. How are they calling fucking John Ryder the Gorilla? Let me check how big he is. What in the hell? They should have went with like the Vanilla Gorilla or something just to, you know, I don't know, to help it. Like, you can't just be a gorilla. Come on, Tank uses the gorilla emoji. You can't just be a gorilla. How many knockouts this guy got? 17 knockouts, 5 losses. One of those coming by knockout. His last loss is to Callum Smith, who just knocked out Lenin Castillo. Shout out to Lelo Mio. Shout out to Lenin, even though you got slept by Callum. So Ryder, other than that, he lost to Fielding by split decision. People give Canelo no credit for sleeping Fielding. Meanwhile, he beat Ryder. And then he lost to Jack Armfield? Or is it Anfield? Let me see. Yeah, Armfield. Whatever that is. Sheesh. You know, this is Jacob's fight to lose. Let's just be real. It's Jacob's fight to lose. I mean, John Ryder is not on his level. And unless he has another Callum Smith moment where he looked better than average versus someone that was supposed to beat him, I don't know. The thing is with Jacobs, he's like lost his killer instinct. You know, he used to be known as a puncher. And then all of a sudden he's not a puncher. And he's not even aggressive. I don't know. He's definitely an Al Heyman boy just trying to make it because, damn, he gets opportunities, bro. He gets opportunities. But let me see if we got any callers. Any callers on the line? You know, I could talk all day.
There's plenty of them.
Let's go. Let's go to Coach J Mac. He said he was ready. Hopefully he still is. I know it's been about a half an hour since he's ready.
Jeez. Oh, no, I think he left.
Okay, who's next?
All right, I'm going to let LV Slugga come on up.
LV. Damn. And now I know LV stands for Louisville, but we're going to start calling you Las Vegas Slugger now since we in Vegas. What up, champ? It always takes them a little bit of time to unmute their Skype. Usually these guys are working, and they got to get their phone out their pocket. Then they got to figure it out.
Ness, yo.
Oh, that's King Born.
What's good, yo?
King Born, what up?
What's good? Yo, Ness, man, what's good, comrade? You're back.
I'm back,
You're
baby.
back, man. El Capitan is back. Listen, you're the boxing assassin. So I'm going to dub you Ness Vegas. You heard?
Uh-oh.
That's your new name, Ness Vegas. You killing the game right now. Listen, y'all, I'm going to tell y'all something about Philip Hergovich. Do me a favor. Go sit in the tree and count 1, 2, 3. Nobody give a fuck about Hergovich. You heard?
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I told Santa Claus, he didn't diss me last year, but this the fights we need. I'm giving y'all 4 fights. At the end of the year, we getting Thurman and Bud, y'all. Y'all can print it. Cause fucking Oogie's gonna beat Spence. Trust me. And
that's a bold prediction.
Yeah. I'm on my shit right now. Ness, I'm back. You back, I'm back. You heard? Listen, man. The other bold prediction is, the other wild shit is, I got Loma fighting Cambroso, right? And then Loma's going to fight Haney. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The other shit I need right now, I'm telling y'all, we also going to get Tank fighting somebody. You know, I'm a big Tank fan. He got to fight somebody, yo. Got to fight somebody.
Like who? Like who?
Bro, prediction.
Who you want to see him fight, though?
Yo, man, I need Tank in there against at 135. Yo, fuck it. Give me Richard Coleman, man. Give him somebody. Give him a name, man. Give him a name. Give him somebody, man. I'm not going with Isaac Cruz shit. The mighty midget, Mighty Mouse. And yo, this is my last shit right here. And that's, check me out. This the Super Bowl prediction. I got Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder, Frank Sanchez, and Joe Joyce. One of these 4 is going to have a heavyweight belt this year. Because that shit is looking funny with Fury and Dillian White. I'm telling y'all, because AJ is going to lose again. We all know that. He ain't being Usyk and shit. And I'm going to tell you why you should not diss Frank Sanchez. He's the new, updated Chris Bird. No power, but he can move and he can box. He just don't got no power, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Chris Bird had power. Chris Bird did have power. Remember, he beat Vitaly or Vlad. I gotta Google it, but I think he beat Vitaly, the tougher brother.
Yeah, he beat Vitaly. But like I said, yo, Ness, you back? Ness Vegas. Listen, man, we on some shit today, man. You back, brother. Love y'all, love my comrades. TVV live chat, love everybody. Peace, man. Peace.
All right. Let's see who's next on the line. Obviously, he has some very interesting things to say and a couple of good matchups. You know, we got to see do those actually come to life. But I wouldn't mind tanking Comey. I think that people would, though. I think that they would still complain because, you know, we're just haters naturally. And maybe somebody is going to criticize the Comey selection due to Loma just doing what he did. I mean, he put all types of hands on Richard Comey. So I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see what unfolds. But who's next?
LV Slugger was about to get on before King Born. LV, you there?
What up, TBV? What up?
What up, champ? I'm happy. I'm smiling hearing your voice, hearing each and every one of y'all. Y'all don't know. Like, people think I can be front and I'm not. Like, yo, I missed y'all. This shit was crazy being away. It was good.
Yo, what's up, man? Definitely good to see y'all back, man. Studio definitely looking good.
Yes.
You know, that
definitely paying off, man. Just gotta keep doing what you're doing, man. More to come, man. Definitely looking good though, man. But I ain't really got too much to say, man. It's just a lot of boxing going on. I just want the biggest fight in boxing, man.
But tell me what you think about that audio we played earlier. I don't know if you heard it with Tim Smith basically saying that Crawford wants a lot of money. Normally I would be, just jumping all over that because I want to tease the Crawford fans. But it's pretty evident that from the audio that he's bullshitting. Like, how do you say someone wants a lot of money, but then you turn around and say you don't know how much that amount is, and then you turn around and say you also weren't part of the negotiations. So, like, why are we even listening to you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about the money tip, man. I just want the fight. As a fan, that's all I'm on. I just want the fight to get made, man. Hopefully they can get, just get something done to where we can get it made, man. We've been missing out on a lot of these big fights last couple of years. Losses and, all that. We got 2 undefeated top 10 pound for pound champions, man, in their prime. So we need to try to get this fight made, man. That's all I want. I want the biggest fight, EJ versus Bud. Hopefully, how I've been mapping out, like how Supermax called in and said, hopefully Thurman give us a spectacular performance. But like you said, he ain't had no stoppage since 15. So, I mean, that's just a long shot. But hopefully he can look good against Barrios. You know what I'm saying? We can get him and Bud in the summer sometime. And, EJ do his thing against Ugas. And we get, the biggest fight in boxing, undisputed. You know what I'm saying? That's, that's just hoping and wishing. But, a lot got to go on for that to happen. But, that's what I'm hoping to go down, man. But
any of these fights that are made, that have been announced, that you might be interested in, that does excite you?
The ones I just said, I mean, I'm gonna definitely be looking forward to see how Thurman looks since being out the ring for a while. Ugas, Spence, they talking about that supposed to be sometime in April. I mean, for real, that's really. I mean, I don't really know what's coming up. Like, I mean, Joe Smith that messed up because of what happened to Callum. So, I'm still gonna look forward to it, see how, because he probably about to get a Canelo shot. He about to get a big payday as long as he can stay winning. He probably gonna be the first one to get that Canelo shot if Canelo fight at 175. So
who?
Joe Smith. He got the WBO at 175.
Yeah. Man, people will hate on Canelo, I think, if he fought Joe Smith first. I would fight Joe Smith first if I was Canelo. Obviously, you want to believe that's the easier fight between the two when you're considering him and Beterbiev, but it's also a good introductory fight. Like, Joe has real power, so if you want to see how these big boys punching, might as well go with the dude like Joe who isn't as he doesn't have the amateur schooling or background of a Beterbiev.
Right, and he ain't the boxer as a Bivol. Bivol already got that win over him, so I don't think he'll go straight up and fight a Bivol right now. So I think Joe Smith probably be the one out the 3 that probably get the Canelo shot first. You know what I'm saying? And then he 32. I ain't know he was that young. He still kind of young, so that power's still there. So, that'll be a good, just to see a Canelo. I mean, I think Canelo can get it done, but if Joe Smith look good next week, and he probably gonna get that Canelo shot. So, I'm just the boxing, man. Just looking forward. But yeah, keep grinding. Y'all looking good. Studio, everything looking good, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for calling in. I'll say this, man. I don't think Canelo's going to fight Joe Smith. He was at the PBC card with Luis Ortiz, and obviously he was there in support of Frank Sanchez. I know. That's the easy thing to assume. But I think it also shows that there's a relationship forming there. Now this is your second time as a guest at a PBC event. And you already, your last fight was a PBC event. I don't know. The writing might be on the wall. There might be a Benavidez or a Charlo option to pop up sooner than a Joe Smith or a Beterbiev. But who's next? Oh, this is so amazing to be able to who's next?
All right, Sony Woods. Let's see what we got.
The commish. Sony. Cincinnati. What it do? He's in that box truck. Uh-oh, Sony, you busy?
He's like scrambling for his phone, threw it on the floor.
Nah, he's probably, some of them, they're drivers and they just listen. But who's at the top of the list?
Top of the list. Let's look at Adrian Rowan.
Oh, Adrian.
Yo,
What's up?
can you hear me?
I hear you, my friend. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. But, I'm doing my duty right now. I'm driving as well, but, the elderly and the disabled right now, doing my part to give back to the community. Man, it's good to hear your voice, man. Good to see you looking good in the ESPN studio. Doomy was looking good up there as well, man. It's looking real fly.
Yeah,
real
man.
fly. It's a good look, man. It's a good look.
The dream.
Exactly. Yeah, I got some people down in Vegas too. And my mom used to live there forever. So
come on out, man. Look, I got my chair all solo dolo here, man. My man's sick.
I got you. You flying me out, brother?
Oh, big spender.
But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to 2022. I'm looking forward to the return of Keith Thurman. Not at a pay-per-view price. I said something in the chat. My problem right now with some of this PBC shit that's going on is, man, Al kind of opened the model up when Premier Boxing Champions came up to go to regular TV to where we weren't paying pay-per-view for these big fights. And it seems like we've reverted and did a 180 to the point where we're paying for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're paying top price. We're not getting no deals. I mean, I know they had this, the $40 card, the heavyweight card, but like I told Doomy, I'm after you squeeze all that money out of me in 2021 to come at me with a half price pay-per-view, I'm not saying the lineup was horrible, just I'm not coming out $40 after the holidays and all that. I got, 3 kids, 3 baby mamas, you know what I'm saying? Like the holidays get tough. So I just want to see a return to boxing where we're paying for what we need to pay for, but we're also getting stuff that we shouldn't have to pay for. They need to kind of even it out this time. I don't want to see them hitting our pockets like they did last year. And to be honest with you, they really hit our pockets in the last quarter, which is why I definitely did not buy the
honestly,
fight.
bro, they already hitting us. The first pay-per-view of the year was January 1st. Now they're talking about February 5th. That's one per month.
Right. And I mean, listen, that's what? Is that one entity? Like, is that just PBC?
Yeah, that's just PBC.
You know what I mean? So
pay-per-view boxing champions.
Right. So my thing is like, bro, what's going to happen when, Bob start hitting us with pay-per-views?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when all these other people try to do it? What happens when Dazn goes back on their word and start trying to hit us up for pay-per-views? Plus all the Jake Pauls and the Logan Pauls. I mean, dude, there's just so much stuff I can just see that we're going to be getting stuck with the bill for. And I don't mind supporting my sport, but don't rob me. You know what I mean? They running around like some stick-up kids, taking our money on certain fights that we really shouldn't be paying for like that. I mean, come on, man. Like, when PBC started, wasn't Keith Thurman like their first fight? It was like Keith, Danny. Yeah.
Oh, and he was free. Everybody was wearing free boxing for all shirts. It was... But, they were met with so much resistance. If they were met with any of the open arms that Dazn was met with, maybe PBC would be a different entity. It's just the truth. I haven't seen one writer writing, slanderous articles about how Dazn is creating a monopoly or anything of that nature. Where that's what Heyman was met with when he first started Premier Boxing Champions. But none of that matters because right now they're looking more and more like pay-per-view boxing champions.
Well, exactly. I mean, really, man, he's kind of bringing it back to the old HBO, Showtime models.
So?
That just with the pay-per-views,
Okay.
like just the fact that you got to keep paying money. Cause man, remember at one point, if you didn't have HBO or Showtime, bro, you weren't really watching boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Even Boxing After Dark, Showbox. You still had to pay for a subscription for that channel on top of
the only thing that was out there for free, which still wasn't free, was ESPN Plus. ESPN Friday Night Fights, and you have to have cable to get ESPN. That's not free,
Exactly. It's hundreds of dollars, right? Because even back then, to get the good cable package with everything that you wanted is still a couple $100 a month, easy. And then they jack the rate up on you after a year or two. You know what I mean? And then you got to go renegotiate to get them deals again. So, at the end of the day, if boxing wants to grow, they got to find a happy medium between pay-per-view, the apps, and everything. Because I think if you add up the total that you pay for in apps and everything at the end of this year, you're going to see that as boxing fans, we definitely spend money. And when I was managing a bar, here's the thing. I could say the difference between boxing fans and UFC fans. UFC fans are cheap. I heard that from everybody. The managers at Buffalo Wild Wings, people come, occupy a table, order a couple appetizers, drink a pitcher of beer if they're a UFC fan. Boxing fans, on the other hand, are drinking, cocktails, really spending money, having a good time if they're not watching it at their house. So, we are a sport that is built on really spending money. But, man, you gotta give the boxing public a
break. Adrian, let me get back to you, man. Bill Haney he done popped up on it. And this is why we needed a fucking studio. Bill, man, come sit down with me, man.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God. You are the best, man. I swear to God. They can't never talk shit about Bill Haney.
Hey.
Go ahead and put on your headphones, man. Oh, man, ain't this is great. Now it's gonna get hard to get used to this, just having guys pop up. That was an amazing feeling. Thank you so much for joining us. I didn't expect you to be here. Yo, he surprised us, ladies and gentlemen. We're joined obviously by Bill Haney, father trainer of Devin Haney. What's going on, man?
Hey, King, man, blessings to be back. Blessings to you and Happy New Year. I ain't talked to you.
Yeah. I had to learn some life lessons before the new year, but it's the way God wanted, man. I'm a little reckless. I'm a little aggressive, and I got to let the boxers do the boxing and the talkers do the talking, and I'm going to just be talking from now on. But, man, thank you for surprising. This couldn't have got better. I'm really happy, man. Thank you. So I was talking about your top 10 list, man. It must feel amazing for it to come full circle. And like you said, your son who got the knocks, people, tried to say whatever they said about him. And now he's one of the only two fighters on that list that actually fought two fighters on that list. And he's number 3.
Yeah, and he several fighters on the list that had an opportunity to also fight him that we wanted to actively pursue the fight, but we're not going to go down that road. What we will say is that we were blessed to be able to have two fighters that are on the list, on the top 10. One in Jojo Diaz, who I think was on the top 5 when we fought him. And both of the guys that we fought are still higher than most of the ranked fighters that
you haven't fought.
That we haven't fought. Other contemporaries, yeah. So.
And Trav, if you could pull up that list for the Ring Magazine one more time, just so the people watching know what we're talking about. And obviously, some of those people you mentioned is like a Ryan. Ryan is, well, he's actually above JoJo and Linares.
Right. But when you talk about actually, everyone was questioning who we would fight or who did we fight, right? They talked about Jorge Linares and his age, and you see that he's still ranked high everywhere on everybody's list. It's just, of course, styles make fights. I don't want to take anything away from some of the good performances that Kambosos put on against Teofimo. Tank, of course, put on a great one against Issa Cruz. But, if you talk about the year and its total, I think Devin had the most impact in the lightweight division.
Wow. Over Kambosos' upset win, you think that was more impactful?
Well, if you listen to what Teofimo Lopez and the Lopez's are saying in terms of their readiness to fight, they don't want to give him the credit that I think that he deserves. And he beat a prepared Teofimo Lopez. Whether or not he was healthy or not, that's a whole nother thing. But I know he was prepared for Kambosos. I know Kambosos was prepared for him. It was a great win for Kambosos, but it's not something that we don't think that we would have done in that position either.
So now, obviously, Kambosos gets this win. Has there been any sort of conversations? Is he still as interested as he once sounded?
I did my due diligence. Of course, I try to do as much as I can to make the fights happen. I don't listen to the naysayers, or I don't listen to the promoter talk in that sense. I reached out to his dad, Jim, who's a great guy, who's doing the best that he can for his son in the position that his son is in. It's a newfound position that I think that he's exploring a lot of avenues, I should say. But
rightfully so.
Rightfully so. But when from man to man, father to father, he's given me his word that he's doing everything in his power for the fight to happen with Devin Haney. He dispels any rumors to me that it's a Lomachenko involved. As far as I know, it's Devin and Kambosos and Devin.
And how much of an option is Australia? I know the Omicron is going out there. Everybody's got the sniffles. Is that still on the table, or are you trying to make this a USA event?
Of course, when you heard Devin's response to his willingness to make the Undisputed happen, he said that he would go to Australia, but he also indicated that he would go to Jupiter. And we don't know what's on Jupiter. So we know that Devin is willing to make the fight happen by any means necessary.
That's amazing. That's great, man. I hope he gets that opportunity. Have you spoken to Lou, though? Because I know you and Lou have a relationship. You were trying to get Comey. At least the phone lines were active. Has he gone dark now that he's got the unified champion?
Thank you for the correction, Ness. Thank you for the correction. Like I say, if Lou was really trying to make the thing happen with Devin, he had an opportunity to negotiate when he had Comey, and he chose to go with Lomachenko. Got Comey beat with nothing was on the table for him, right? I felt sorry for Comey because he had an opportunity to be a
world champion.
And I think it would have been his second time. The promoters do some promoter business, and sometimes it's not in the best interest of the fighter. Unlike you have Kambosos now, Kambosos and his dad are approaching it different. They're on some 2022 shit, right? Kambosos said that he speaks for himself. Mr. Kambosos, he indicates that he's representing his son and not necessarily Lou DiBella business. We know Lou DiBella, and the way he represents fighters are a thing in the past. It's times have changed. You have platforms like the Boxing Voice who allow the fighters, the management teams to get out, get in the streets and make these things happen, unlike the promoters of yesteryear.
So when considering Australia, is Devin willing to get vaccinated to get into that country? Has that something you guys spoke about? Because I know some other fighters were not running to be vaccinated. I think things are slowly changing and more people are open to the vaccination. But what's your stance? And do you know your son's stance?
Well, I would feel, I would let Devin come on and speak about something that's so, it's a topic that he would have to address, right? In terms of, I know he's doing everything and has said that he will do everything to go to Australia. We would look forward to it. We would definitely consider. I haven't had the vaccine, right? I can publicly speak about myself. I'll let Devin come on and speak about his stance on it. I haven't. It's something that I would have to very much consider and talk to my imam, talk to my partner, and then just come up with a game plan.
Absolutely. Considering again Australia, how soon would you want to get up in there to get him acclimated to the time zone? Because It's 24 hours. I think it's 7 p.m. is their 9 a.m.
Right. It will take.
7 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. I'm used to the East Coast.
You know, as like I said, as a team, we'll sit down and then decide when is the fight date, and when do we need to get there. But as far as that, I look forward to it. I look forward to an opportunity to go to Australia with the good people down there, down under, right, and put on a performance.
Absolutely.
Of a lifetime.
What else, man? What else? So what has your son been up to? Actually, my co-host said they bumped into him at a club. Were you with him, Madison?
On Friday? No.
I don't know what club it was, but he was like, "Yo, we seen Devin." I'm like, "Yeah, I missed that."
So
Yeah.
are you full time here in Las Vegas now?
I will be. I came to finalize everything and hopefully convince the little lady. And then they want me back as early as this month. I'm trying to come back first month of February to start because we just made the move to Florida.
Right.
But I mean, this is the dream. Look, you actually popping up. This is what she needed to see, right? Like, this is the difficulties I have in New Jersey or in Florida that I won't have here. Like, you just popped up, making it all that much better and amazing, man. I mean,
ironically, I was taking my daughter to school while I was listening, right?
So that works.
I mean? So, yeah, it's perfect. But the voice of the people. It represents the new way of watching boxing, a new way of marketing boxing, right? And my ability to come down here and put in some work. See, I got to pull up. My pull-up game is vicious.
I see.
You already see. You see what I'm saying? So I love this, brother. I love
it too.
You're doing a great job.
Like I said, I don't know if you were listening. I need to get Amari Jones in here, get me Shamar Canal, everybody, even Acosta. I know DHP has a few fighters. And we can start with everyone else other than Devin until we get to Devin, man. I know he's busy. But speaking of him, as the trainer, what month are you targeting for his return regardless of opponent? Do you have a time frame in your mind, or do you just want to let things work themselves out?
Well, we're thinking April. We've been here in April. We've been here in April. April, May. I don't want it to go to where Devin is out the ring for too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I also want to show that we have patience enough with Kambosos and his team, considering the big win that they did just have, right? And just making this thing happen, bringing the undisputed to the lightweight division, the true undisputed.
I don't know if you've seen on Instagram, Teofimo Lopez said that he would be undisputed again at 140. Do you think that he has washed his hands with 135?
Did you see what Josh Taylor said? Newsflash.
You're not undisputed.
You never was.
You're undisputed.
Right?
I know.
And that's why I said is when it comes to fights that are legacy defining fights, you take your time. You approach them with open-mindedness, right? And you just try to make the things happen. We had an opportunity for Lopez and Haney, both families, to get together and make something beautiful happen in the lightweight division. We weren't able to. The Lopez's decided to do something else. Now we have the Kambosos, who are a great. It's an American story, a good family. That something great has happened for them, and now we would like them to let's continue on. They continue on their legacy of greatness, and if it's beating Devin Haney, so be it. And also Devin Haney having the opportunity to continue his legacy and beating George Kambosos.
So let's go back to, obviously, the Diaz fight. We were in attendance. It was a unique weekend, obviously, because Devin fought on a Saturday and Tank fought on a Sunday in another state. But what did you think of your son's performance now that obviously you've had some time to rewatch it, I'm sure, and some time to just digest it? Did he do everything you wanted? Were all the boxes checked?
Well, Devin has an array in his toolbox. And as a fighter, you need the kind of competition to bring out the best in you. Jojo Diaz brought out more than his last opponents have brought out, and Devin, because you got a chance to see him fight in the pocket, right? And you got a chance to see him deal with adversity, deal with the fact that JoJo wanted to get him on the ropes, and Devin didn't let him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just more experience for Devin, more experience as a young fighter, and I'm happy about his performance. What we say in our household is on to the next. We're not spending a bunch of time, re-preparing for JoJo Diaz because we know styles make fights. We know that JoJo Diaz is a different style than a George Kambosos, as well as the George Kambosos is a different style than a Lomachenko, and the Lomachenko is different than a Tank Davis. So we'll go back. We're in our strength and conditioning part of the phase right now, where we're back in the gym.
You know it's on. I live here. I'm coming all the time now. He gonna have to learn to like me because I'm gonna be up in there.
Oh no,
it's a wrap. So back to that list. If you could pull it up, Trav. Who on this list do you think JoJo can beat?
Let me see the list. Look a little bit over here by you. Let me see.
Hold up. I sent it to my man Trav. Nope. Here we go. Here we go. Obviously, you just being in there with him. JoJo looks to be at number 7 on the Ring Magazine top 10 lightweight list. Isaac Cruz is this new hot thing, huh? Everybody's talking about Isaac Cruz, and they want to get him in the ring with Ryan. Who can JoJo beat on this list? Can he become like Teofimo and Devin and beat 2 names on this list, in your opinion?
I think JoJo Diaz gives.
Well, he already beat Javier Fortuna. That's one.
Right. He gives everyone problems on this list. He gives everyone problems on this list. I think as a style matchup, what would probably be a bad matchup is Gervonta Davis, because JoJo, he likes to come forward, and that's what Tank needs. He needs you to come forward, but he gives Lomachenko, Teofimo, Kambosos problems.
Okay,
he's better than Comey.
And is that based off what you just seen Vasil do to Comey? I wasn't expecting that. He handled him.
Man, listen, I told you then when we were talking about that, when Lou didn't want that Devin was going to beat the shit out of Comey if Comey had ever tried to. We know about him, and he's slower than a New York bus.
And there's a lot of stops on those buses in New York for those that don't know.
Slow as hell. You know what I'm saying? And we said that this is not somebody that we're talking about after, right? After Vasil beat him. We talked about him before that, Lou never gave us a call back. He never tried to negotiate the fight. And you talk about Lou now. Lou still hasn't called me.
Really?
Even about Kambosos.
Not one time to talk about Kambosos?
Not once.
Do you think it's a money thing? I think we had this conversation, and obviously Kambosos got his biggest payday on Dazn, so you would assume that money isn't the problem. But do you think Lou believes he can get more money elsewhere?
I don't think so. Okay. I think that Lou understands what Devin brings to the table, right? And he never saw his fighters beating Devin. He never saw Comey beating him. He never saw Kambosos, right? He's always tried to go the opposite way, right? And because what I'm saying is then you negotiate, you reach out to our team, and you see, right? Everyone says about the number. They don't know the number because we've never spoke the number. We've never had to speak the number with anyone outside of Eddie and Dazn.
And by number, you mean what you would take to go over there.
Right. So you know what I mean? If you don't know what the number is, then and you're not negotiating, then what does that say?
It's funny that Lou wouldn't have called. Do you think that he's in communications with Eddie because isn't Australia DAZN launching this year? I was pretty sure. I was under the impression they had an Australia DAZN launching.
No, I think one thing that Lou said was, he said, why was Eddie speaking to the Australian government about a fight between Haney and Kambosos. He felt that he should be the only one to speaking about that.
Does he have that connection?
well, the thing that Eddie carefully pointed out, that he had permission from Bill Haney and Devin Haney to speak as far as making that fight happen.
Yeah, man, I thought that was going to be a shoo-in, obviously, with the Australian launch of Dazn, or said to be, they were said to be launching in Australia. I thought it would have made amazing sense. But what do you think of Isaac Cruz and all this newfound fame he's getting? He's obviously in the running here for a Ryan fight. I don't know that it'll happen with everything I see Oscar saying and Sean Gibbons, but yeah, your thoughts on Isaac Cruz's performance with Tank and just the newfound popularity, the fact that fight fans, they're drawn to him.
Oh, Isaac Cruz, he represents a particular style of fighting that is that come forward, rugged, do or die, Mexican style of fighting that I love. I'm here on the West Coast. I see a lot, and I'm sure you're going to get a chance to see now a lot in the gyms that Devin has prepared for, since we started boxing. We understand that, and that style of fighting presents a problem to everyone else around the world, for sure.
So you were not surprised by the troubles he caused Tank?
No, not at all. Not at all. But like I said, we actually grew up here. Devin grew up and has been fighting that style of fighter for a long time. You know what I mean? So we know what kind of skills that he brings to the table.
There you go.
Thank you, brother.
So yeah, do you think that the Ryan Garcia fight actually happens? You think with so much back and forth in the media, Sean Gibbons coming out now saying that, Oscar lying won't help the situation. So obviously Ryan has to be seeing that. Do you think this can maybe turn into a fight, or you think PBC Dazn is just not going to happen? Because that's how I originally looked at it. Like, I was at the Tank fight after your son's fight. We flew to LA, and in the post-fight press conference, Gibbons was clear. He's like, Al's happy with us. We lost, but he's happy. We don't need a WBA. Al Heyman is happy. And it's just like, if he's that happy, he'll give you something on the Al Heyman side of things, is how I looked at it. What's your thoughts?
Ryan, it's crazy that Ryan now is starting to be the kind of fighter that people are questioning whether or not he's going to show up. Mm-hmm. Him and Devin have fought numerous times in the amateurs.
How many total fights?
5 or 6.
Wow.
5 or 6 times, right? And
how many wins Devin has over him?
Devin has 3.
Okay.
Devin has 3. And
so there's a possibility
Ryan,
it's
Ryan
5.
Has 2. He has 2 or 3.
Okay, so there's a possibility they're even then.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility. It's a possibility. And that's a shout out to Ryan, the Garcia family, both his mom and dad, who did an amazing job preparing this kid when he was young to face adversity, right? And we would, on our side, the Haneys, right? We're preparing for Garcia at the end because we know he's going to be at the end of the tournament. Just like I'm sure that they had grown accustomed to us being at the end. But that backup quit, it never was in Ryan. I never saw it. I never saw it as an amateur.
You think the money is what's causing him to be more tentative or reluctant? Whereas when you guys were in the amateurs, there was no money.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I would hope and pray that he gets back to himself. You know what I mean? Because it's good. It's just good for not only boxing but his family. And all the examples of the young kids that are looking.
Yeah, for me, I kind of take it like the little boy that cried wolf at this point, because it's like every time someone fights, he comes out and says, "Oh, I could have beat that guy better."
Yeah.
In one way or another. Not that he literally says that, but he makes sure that that's what he meant. And it's just like, we would like to see you fight some of these guys. Get in there. Like, I wouldn't mind the Isaac Cruz fight. What about you? You think?
Absolutely. At this point in time, with Ryan,
you want anyone.
You would want to see Ryan in there with anyone right now, right? He's been out a full year, right?
Is that too much though, because of that full year?
That is something that could play a factor. just as well as Lomachenko. He was out a year. He was out a year going into the Teofimo Lopez fight. He was waiting and waiting and waiting. Where when you become a champion, you have 6 months to defend if it's a vacant belt. Instead of Lomachenko defending within 6 months against Devin Haney, who was the next highest ranked fighter in the WBC, he opted to take the franchise, then ended up taking getting a year off, and coming into the fight with a year worth of what they would call ring rust, I guess.
Yeah, and it definitely showed because his performance versus Comey was not the performance versus Tio. He looked fresh in the Comey fight, without a doubt. April, and you're saying you guys are now in the strength and conditioning phase. What's that mean for the people that don't know what Devin is doing?
Well, it just means we're not going in the boxing gym. We're doing a lot of things to keep his strength and to maintain from the previous fight. You want to try to hold on to as much as that as you can, but not overexert or overtrain for a fight that you don't have yet. So we're in a very unique position right now, whereas most fighters don't go to the gym and don't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Now, last time I spoke to Devin, he made it clear. He was like, people thought I couldn't make weight, and I made it. Then the next fight, he said he found it easier to make weight, and that he grew an inch. Did, I guess, just the growing help out with that, or was it he's getting more used to his body and knowing now what he needs to do on his own? What changed from possible struggle to now I got this?
Well, he's becoming more of a constant professional. The more that he goes through the process, he's fought 27 times now, so he's 27-0, and it's not about necessarily the coaches standing over him. He's now starting to execute some of the things that we wanted him to learn, both of course at the dinner table, as well as the recovery part of it.
So I was talking about Devin's Corvette. What made him wrap it from red to beige?
I don't know. I mean, that's just a color that he's picked. That's his color. I've never seen any cars.
I never seen one in beige either, so I get it.
Right.
I get it. It sticks out more.
He just got the Maybach, the new Maybach, right? And it's black on black. But I was asking him, I said, "Are you gonna do the color thing to it too?" And he says, "I don't know what you think." So, I don't know.
How's that feel for you? Like, obviously you've been there from the beginning and you've been in all the gyms, but as a dad, solely a dad, to sit back and watch your child be who he is, it's got to be a proud moment. And I just want to hear it from your words. I mean, because he's in control of his own destiny at this point. You've put him in a position that he's got generational wealth and can attain that if he doesn't already have it. The sky looks to be the limit, Time is telling like wine how good Devin is. Few fights ago, people were questioning the power. You can't question power now when, you're facing top 10 guys that can't hit you and are being affected by this quote unquote non-power. So I don't know. I just want to hear your words, man, as a dad, not really much a trainer or manager, promoter, just as a dad. Because for me, I tell my wife all the time, like, at 21, I didn't know how to make $300 a day. My son is out there day trading. I'm super proud that he can make $300 a day trading on the market. Like, that wasn't my thing. So that's a minuscule level compared to what Devin is doing. So you've got to be like, I don't know, it's got to be this warm feeling. I just want to hear how you feel.
Well, I mean, happiness isn't tied to money at all, right? To see him happy and fulfilling his dream, right? To also challenge yourself, right? And to see him go through the things that you go through when you're challenging yourself. If he wasn't challenging himself and he was just settling, then I would be extremely disappointed. So every day to see him go through the things that you have to go through to be a world champion in boxing and be the youngest world champion in boxing, alhamdulillah.
Amen, man. Amen. So when we started recording Devin, I think he was 12 or 11, or is it 13?
Yeah, he was
one
young,
of those three, right?
Yeah.
When did you know he was going to be a professional fighter? Because obviously, we got so many people that go through the amateurs and they don't turn pro. How'd you know he would be a professional? And also, was there a moment where you knew he can be a world champion?
Well, the one time that I really realized Devin was he was the guy is when him and Floyd sparred. Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was probably the time when I know I really had the confidence that I knew that I was like, this guy is something different, right? Is because you grow up.
I never heard the story of him sparring Floyd.
Beat the shit out of Floyd.
Oh.
Talking about what?
He beat Floyd up. What fight was that for?
Before the Conor McGregor fight.
Oh wow!
Come on now, and you. Those are the times that you hear about things, but then you don't hear about things because it's real, right?
Why wouldn't Floyd try his best? Well, I guess it was too late by then. You guys were already with Dazn by then, right? For the McGregor fight. For the McGregor fight,
no. I don't think so. I think we were still with Showtime. But for 6 rounds, they did 6 rounds, and for the whole time, I was, because I'm talking shit just like Floyd talk shit. And if you ever been to a doghouse sparring match where Floyd talks shit to you. The people talk shit. Everybody talks shit. So, it was my opportunity, to talk shit to Floyd, to talk some shit, right? And I told him, I was like, Floyd, it's like looking in a mirror, isn't it? And I'm like, damn.
You can't
Floyd,
get off.
Do nothing. You can't, damn, Floyd, you can't.
Wow.
And Devin says that when he got out the ring, he was like, Dad, it was like a dream. Like it was euphoric in the sense that he knew everything that Floyd was going to do, right? And I think Floyd, he came out and he said, yeah, the time has passed where, it's the young guys now. You know what I mean? And, of course, he stays in shape, unlike the excuse that he said with Gervonta Davis when Devin put hands on Gervonta Davis in front of him, right? Floyd was in shape getting ready for him. It just came down to skills. And what I'm saying is skills. When you saw Devin in there with the most skilled fighter that I had ever seen. And then Devin skill for skill, not where Floyd is trying to bully him or Devin is trying to bully him, right? You were just seeing skill for skill, and there wasn't any comparison.
That had to be surreal for Devin. That probably put his confidence on a whole new level.
No, absolutely. For us as a team as well, for Devin and then us as a team. But shout out to Floyd for giving us the opportunity. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew what he was looking at when he said, Devin, come on. When he told him, you know what I'm saying? He had been watching him since he was a kid, and he knew that Devin was at that point where Floyd was going to find out some things about himself, as well as Devin was going to find out some things about himself. Fortunately for us, it meant that Devin would move on, and unfortunately for Floyd, he knew that he was at the end of the road.
Well, not only did we get the treat of the pop-up, but definitely that story. Like I said, I had not heard that Devin was in there, especially this recent. That had to be an amazing experience for him. Wow.
I think that was right after they took the picture. The picture that they were sparring, where they both had on the cup, I think they, had a warm embrace at the end of it. I think Floyd had something on his eye. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. So, do you still think, or are you like me? Because I think it was me. Do you think that the Tank Haney fight is still the biggest fight to make? Or do you believe the belts are more important at this point?
I'm a big fan of Tank, right? I'm a big fan of Baltimore and what Tank represents. We share some of the same fans. Also, we share some of the same loved ones that care dearly about him, care dearly about Devin as well. I think that's the biggest fight for our culture.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest fight legacy-wise for Devin right now is George Kambosos and all the belts.
All right. That's definitely understandable. I want that Tank fight, though, and being as though you said that Floyd already made an excuse for Tank when Devin and he sparred, does that also, I don't know, make you feel that reluctant that the fight won't happen because Floyd got to see firsthand what can happen?
Well, Floyd has to do Floyd and Mayweather business. He has to do Mayweather Promotions business. Our job was to bring visibility to Devin and let the world see what his skill set brings. And then ultimately, it's the fans that pay for the pay-per-views. It's the fans that pay for the subscriptions. So it's really comes down to ultimately what the fans want and not what the promoters want, right? Floyd did a great job with Tank in the sense of, he was on I think Tank was on the undercard of the Conor McGregor, was his first national appearance in front of the world. Floyd has continued to do a great job of bringing visibility to Tank. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it takes two dance partners. Devin and our team has done everything that we could do, and I think we've did a great job at becoming one of Tank's dance partners. It's solidifying to the people that there's no other fighter that they want to see Tank fight other than Devin Haney, that will pose the questions and answer the questions about Tank being the true superstar talent that he is. And that's all that we could do. We could do our half, do our part, and I think that we've done it. We've killed all the narratives that Devin wasn't big enough, he doesn't sell enough, he doesn't bring enough to the table, right? We had to do that, and I think we've done it.
How did it make you feel? I want to say, obviously, 2 weeks ago, Ellerby was out here kind of in the Devin Haney business, right? Talking about how you guys might get paid too much to be in a fight with Tank because, I don't know, he made it seem as if there's no way to recoup the amount of money Devin Haney makes.
Yeah, like I said, we've never had a talk with anyone other than Dazn and Eddie Hearn. They don't pay for it, right? It's not Floyd Mayweather that pays for it. It's not Eddie that pays for it. It's the network, and the network is paid by the people. So you know what I mean? I don't listen to those narratives, right? If he feels that he can make a fight, be a big fight, a pay-per-view fight with the Isaac Cruz instead of a Devin Haney, then I don't think he's not doing good business.
Now, with Loma, he didn't look as great, obviously, in the T.O. fight, and you gave the reasons, and he gave his reasons, with inactivity and things like that, but he did look good in the Comey fight. Is that still a fight that Devin is interested in? Obviously, it's not top priority because he doesn't have the belts, but is that something he's still interested in, something that I guess he wants to put under, on his resume, get that win? Because you see guys like Shakur, they want to fight Loma. They, some of these up and comers believe they can beat him and believe that name is valuable enough to be on their resume. How do you look at it? And has your son told you he's still interested in that fight?
Oh, Loma is not just a little feather in a cap. He's a big feather, right? And he's something that we don't never overlook. Fighting him, right? Still right now, we don't put past a fight with Lomachenko. Lomachenko was the one that didn't look for a fight with us. It was the opposite.
And hypothetically, if Top Rank sends an offer, your priority would be Kambosos first, right?
Well, my priority would be to entertain any of the offers and bring the offer back to our team and hope that it's healthy enough that we all can eat.
All right. I'm definitely interested in the Devin Haney business. I want to know what's next and where is next. Where would you like the fights to be? Obviously, if it's Kambosos, we know that Australia is a market. But you know, I enjoyed the Linares fight. I enjoyed the Jojo Diaz fight. That was new. I'm sorry, I'm all over that was new. They booed the hell out of Devin. Was you expecting that?
They've been booing Devin since Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, definitely in Mexico, I could see that happen. Yeah. I wasn't expecting that to happen in Vegas, though.
No, it's good. It's good to be in the Devin Haney business. It's good to be. It's good right now to be. You know, that's part of it. That's part of it. We love to see the fans to come out and and hope that their fighter or hope that their guy beats Devin, right? Mm-hmm. You've seen that a lot with Floyd early on, right? The boos and all that stuff. That's part of it.
Yeah, I was shocked. I didn't think, because JoJo is from California. He got a little standing ovation, but it was great to actually be there and witness the turning of that crowd. Mm-hmm. You know, they first were pro JoJo, and as the fight went on, it was more and more Devin until Devin took the win. So
that's what we look to do to go to Australia, right? You look for those opportunities, and that's what I mean is in Mexico it was the same thing, right? As you go in there and they're cheering, and then they somewhere during the fight they start to appreciate the talent and what they're seeing, right?
Absolutely.
And that's what we look to do is to go to Australia and put on that kind of performance.
Yeah, and when Pacquiao fought Joe Horn, I think there was 55,000. And Kambosos has been saying some big numbers. Do you have a guesstimation on how many you think you would actually fight in front of in Australia?
I don't know. I don't know those numbers, right? I can't speak out of turn. But
does it make a difference?
No, it doesn't. I know this, that the Australian people who has been they've been waiting for something like this, right? Since Jeff Horn, right? Since Jeff Horn and Pacquiao. When is the last time there's been a championship fight there?
Championship, I don't know, but Horn and Zafara had a fight out there, and they're two known guys from Australia.
What's time do we deliver to people a great fight, a great championship fight down under? And we look forward to the opportunity of going and converting some of those fans, those Kambosos fans, and the Devin Haney fans.
Now, I know Gary Russell's back in action, I think February.
Is he?
Yeah, but I don't think he's moving up. All the talk of moving up, and I think he's defending his belt yet again.
Let's take a look at who he's fighting. Who's he fighting right now?
Let me see, Gary. Oh, he's fighting the Philippine, right? Masiago? Excuse me.
And I don't think Masiago...
He's big, though. I seen him with Porter. He's a big...
Masiago?
Yeah.
Masiago,
yeah, he was sparring Porter for the Crawford fight.
Has he fought anyone in the United States before?
Yes. His last fight was versus Julio Ceja. And he's got a few in America. His last 3 so far have been in America. This one is scheduled for America as well with Gary Russell. And it looks like it's going to be the same weight, man. Gary's not moving up. He's defending that world WBC belt. But this is him, 23-0, 16 KOs. He's a big guy, though.
Right.
That 5'6" doesn't do him any justice. Next to Porter, he's just as wide and just as tall.
Yeah, I don't think he's
not on that level.
Experience. Yeah, no, he's not. No, he's not on that level. That's a great way of putting it, based on the fighters that he's fought. When I take a quick look at it, but in fairness though, with Gary, he's been away for quite some time, right? So,
I still want that fight, Bill. Once you guys fought Joseph, I went back and watched the Gary fight. Gary was impressive in that Jojo Diaz fight. He was throwing with all his might and like some big shots. It's just it was impressive to see what he did versus what Devin did, and again factoring in that he's supposedly this little guy, but he's not. He doesn't fight little. He doesn't fight little. I still think that's a good fight. I know public may not agree with me, being as though Devin is a few divisions above him, but.
Well, it wasn't any slight towards Gary. It was the fact that Gary was saying that he was coming up to 135, and he also then said that he would fight Crawford
at 47.
At 47 for 1.5 million, right? So that's what intrigued us, is the fact that him being the great fighter that he is, longest reigning champion in boxing, right? And the fact that he wanted 1.5 to come up to fight Crawford, we said, well, we'll give him 1.5. We ended up putting 1.5 and another 0.5 on the table, like at $2 million for him. And
$2 million?
Yeah, it ended up the offer ended up being like $2 million at the end of it. And it was 1.5 when incentives.
That sounds like something he should have took.
Well, yeah.
Is that something that could be revisited? Because JoJo got close to that when he got into Devin Haney business, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's no secret that Devin Haney's opponents get paid, and rightfully so. We don't want it going around that Devin is the only one that's buying BMWs and Benzes and all those kind of things. We want the opponents. We want a fair playing field that the opponents are also eating as well.
So I don't know. My other producer's saying, ask about Devin going to Australia and how much time you would, how early you would want him there. But I thought I asked you that already.
Yeah, but you said that. You said about that.
Acclimation and stuff. They want to know that.
We would have to be out there, and shout out to Peter Kahn, who's George Campbell's. You know Peter, who we discussed before about doing everything that on his side to make it comfortable when Devin comes over, right? And so we plan on being in Australia in enough time that acclimation won't be a problem, won't be an issue. But what I am curious on is Australia, by being down under, and I'm just asking, is it sea level or is it above? Is it like here, the elevation?
Good question for Trav, the producer.
All right, I'm on it. Give me a second.
Yeah, is it above sea level? Because that helps with the breathing.
Right.
Or makes it more difficult if it's above, right?
Right.
It's 300 it's in meters. It's in 330 meters above sea level. So it ranges. They have peaks and troughs, but it's pretty just 330 meters. Whatever that means to you. It's pretty much sea level.
It's pretty much at sea level.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So
not a problem?
Not a problem. No.
And explain that for us. Why wouldn't that be a problem because it's at sea level?
Well, at sea level is when you get your heart beats less. It beats comfortably at sea level. That's where most of
above is when you're in high altitude, you're struggling, which is better for training, not for fighting.
Exactly.
Got it.
That's why we're in Mount Charleston a lot. That's why
I heard it snows out here.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Shakur and Crawford are always in Colorado, right? We're always up here in Mount Charleston. So a lot of the prepared fighters use elevation to their advantage and then use sea level for recovery.
All right. Well, Bill, I do want to thank you, obviously, for coming. We have come to that time where the show is over. I want to thank everybody that tuned in. You see why you need to be tuned in? You just never know who's going to pop up in the new studio. I'm so happy to everybody that's tuned in, everybody that continues to support TBV. The grind doesn't stop. We got Bill Haney. Let them know where they can find you. It's BH underscore the great, right?
underscore the underscore great. But you can find me on your ass if you get out of pocket and talk about Devin in the wrong way. But thank you, everybody, for having me. Thank you for this platform.
Thank you.
This is amazing. The audio is crazy.
I know.
It's like, I don't want to even talk to you on my iPhone at home no more. You know what I mean?
I'm glad.
But yeah, anytime, bro. We got to get Dev down here, man, and thank you.
Yes, I would love to have him, but I do want to just thank you again because, you've always popped up, but popping up in the physical form, that was the cherry on top, man. We appreciate you so much because That was fun. I hope more people pop up. You surprised? I'm like, oh shit, that's you. Even with the mask, I could tell. So, just thank you again, man, and wishing you and your son the best, man. Appreciate you.
Salam alaikum to all my Muslims out there. You know what I mean. Allahu Akbar. God is great.
All right. Ladies and gents, catch us on the next one. Right back here, 6 a.m. Las Vegas time, rocking out. It is Ness GTO. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at Ness GTO. Peace.
Thank you, King.
Oh, man. Thank you.